Welcome to this episode of Mind Your Business. State Counsel John Sangwa has had an illustrious career in the legal sector, but recently he has actually joined politics. And we are here to talk about what motivated him to join politics. How has he settled? And how is he going to pull through with only a few months to go before the elections? State Counsel Sangwa, welcome to Mind Your Business.
Thank you, Mr. Mwenda. Thank you very much for the invitation.
You're welcome. I am first of all, humbled to have you on this program. But I should start by saying, who makes such a decision to leave the comfort of a very powerful law firm, making very good money? I've been to Vitumbiko. I have been to your office. And I've been to other places as well. And I can tell you, that place looks very good. You can smell money when you are at Vitumbiko. And then you decide to say, all this comfort and everything, no, I'm done. I want to jump in. Why?
You asked a very important question, which is, who does such a thing? The answer is very simple. A patriot. A patriot. Only a patriot would make such a decision. A person who loves his country enough to be able to sacrifice for it.
Right.
Yes. People must understand that when you have a good life, it's a privilege. And that good life is not just meant for yourself. You also have to go beyond that and say, how can I improve the well-being of other people? Yes, you're right in saying that I've had a very successful career, very exciting career. And a lot of people have asked me to say, if I was to relive my life, what would I change about my career? And I've always said, no. There is nothing that I can change. I'm happy with the way, the direction that my life has taken.
Right.
But like you and many other people, if you had asked me 5 years ago to say, are you going to jump into politics? I'd have said, hell no,
right.
I'm not going there.
Right. In fact, off the record, we have had conversations, and you have quite clearly said in many years back to saying, I'm not interested in politics.
That's right.
What changed?
A lot of things, Mr. Mwenda. First of all, my entire life has been a life of service to this country. In the sense that when we made a transition from one-party rule to a multi-party rule in 1990, a lot of my friends went full-time into private practice, but I decided to teach. So I was splitting my time between teaching and practicing. And I was able to do that because I had a very good partner in Simeza, in the sense that we arranged things in such a way that it gave me time to also spend time it gave me the opportunity to spend some time at the university. A job which I did for 20 years. Now, if you're interested in getting rich, teaching is not one of the ways.
Right. I understand. Even in university?
Even in university. I was my associate at that time. I think when I started, my salary was something like 160 kwacha. And my associates in the firm were getting about 2 or 3 times that. But it wasn't about the money. Being a teacher is a labor of love. It's something that you do because you love doing it.
Right.
And the reason for teaching was very simple, in the sense that, Mr. Mwenda, we finished school at a time of great excitement. We had defeated one-party rule. We are now in a democracy. And we saw the damage that was done during the period of one-party state. Zambia, a country which was the third richest in terms of GDP per capita in 1964. In terms of GDP, can you imagine being the third richest in Africa? The GDP of Zambia per capita was even higher than China, higher than all these other countries that you can talk about. But by 1990, Zambia had become one of the poorest and least developed country, one of the poorest, the worst indebted, and least developed country in the world. That was a disaster. So we are sitting on a debt of well in excess of $7 billion. Right. I'm sure you have heard of stories where there were people queuing up for Millie Meal, yes. The basic essential things that we currently take for granted, they're not readily available. Right. So the whole reason for making a transition was a conviction that the return to a multi-party system of government and liberalization of the economy was going to turn around the country and restore it to its glory, because whatever benefits that we had at independence, we squandered that because we became far worse than we started off. Right. So we're all excited. How can we contribute to the consolidation of democracy and everything else? That's what compelled me to teach.
But before I allow you to proceed on the teaching part,
yes,
I would like you to move a bit faster to your decision to get into politics. See, you have had the advantage of seeing how, from Kaunda, you have seen how president after president have performed.
Yes.
This is the first time that you have made the decision to get in. Now, yes, you saved the nation through, sharing knowledge at the university and so on and so forth. But you were seeing things happening with the other presidents. Are you saying this is the worst that Zambia has been to, that you said now is the right time?
Yes, Mr. Mwenda, we have squandered opportunities from 1991. Right. If we move fast forward to 2021, I'm sure you remember that period when we worked together very strongly about Bill 10. Yes. I was so sure that after Bill 10 collapsed, we went for election and the current government won. I felt like, you know what? I think I've lived my life.
Right.
I'm now done.
Right.
We have fought so hard. We've put the country in good hands.
The right candidate is in State House.
The right candidate is in State House. And I did a paper just a few days after the election.
Right.
Just to show you how optimistic I was about the future.
Right.
Because I was convinced that we can never have a government as bad as the
previous one.
As the previous one. And I was very, very optimistic. And I even said, you know what? This government and this president is likely to be a president for life. Democratically.
Okay.
One can be president for life democratically.
What do you mean?
What I mean by that is you can be a president in a country, for example, if you remove the term limit. Okay?
Right.
Democratically. So which means people can vote, you can go through free and fair elections, and people can continue
to vote
for you democratically.
Right.
And you can also have the same political party basically being a dominant political party for a long time to come, democratically.
Right.
Okay? We had an example of Botswana, for example. You had BDP, which was in power for nearly 60 years. This is the first time that they kicked them out. But of course, democracy was, the party was internally democratic because they were changing presidents whilst the party was the same. I saw that as a possibility because I didn't think there'd be one would perform worse than Lungu or even PF. That is how optimistic I was. I don't know. I also don't want to talk about, I don't like talking about other people, but I have to state that I had a meeting with the president, and I said, Mr. President, we all want you to succeed. And I'm here to offer whatever kind of support I can offer you. And I also told him to say, Mr. President, failure for you is a choice. Okay? Let me explain what I meant by that. And I said, Mr. President, you're being president at a very important historical time. Right. We have had 27 years of Kaunda and 30 years of PF and MMD. So this system of Kaunda was one extreme, state-controlled. Right. The other one was another extreme, free market. Right. Both systems failed. So Kaunda's left us to $7 billion in debt. This other one, after 10 years, left us with a debt of nearly $13-14 billion. Right. So you have a choice to bring the country to the center, because the country has never been in the center. So get what worked under 30 years of PF and MMD, and what worked under the 27 years of Kaunda, put it together. Right. I don't think that you're going to fail. Okay? And I also said to him, and said, listen, everybody knows the difference between campaigning and governing. When campaigning, you make all kind of wild statements. Right. But when you go in, it's totally different. Right. And my advice to him was, Mr. President, go back to the people. Tell them the truth. Now that you're in government for 6 months, go back. Moderate your promises.
Tell them you won't fix it.
Tell them. In fact, if you have to lie, that is the time to lie, where you say, guys, I promise so much. I've now gone into government. I've now realized things are so bad. That is the moment, if you want, you can even walk away from your promises. Right. I promise that this will change. I'm sorry, this can't happen. This can't happen. This can't happen. And I said, listen, Zambians will accept the truth if it is painful. But what they don't accept is lies. I mentioned that. And I gave him an example of Chiluba. I said, Chiluba was here. His policies killed people. But Chiluba was honest from the very beginning. Right. He said, guys, things are bad. We have to tighten our belts. Anyway, that was the conversation. But as you know, that none of those things happened. I then think a great deal of the things which are very disappointing. For me, the first signal that we are in trouble was the period it took to create cabinet. It was too long. Okay. If you had been in opposition for 15 years...
You must have a shadow cabinet.
Obviously. You shouldn't even struggle, and shouldn't have taken what? It took 3 months or whatever, 2 months to create a cabinet. That was the first sign of trouble, to say, hey, we're in trouble here. The second problem I saw was what happened to the Kwacha and Kabushi by-elections. Yes. And I realized that we're in trouble here. And a few other things have happened. I've never liked politics because I've seen the extent to which it can be damaging.
Of course, and we always say it's a dirty game.
Yes. But after that, I started reflecting. This was now after 2021. Right. I started reflecting to say, we're really in trouble here as a country. And I think every Zambian must be honest enough and say, you have traveled, Mr. Mwenda, you know. You have to ask yourself, given everything that Zambia has, should we really be where we are? The answer is no, we shouldn't. Now, when you love your country, you have to ask yourself, you have to move away. I've theorized, I've thought, I've litigated. Then you ask yourself, what have I achieved? What is the contribution? How much of a dent has that initiative done in terms of improving the governance of the country?
Right.
The answer is zero. Right. In fact, the country is far worse than it was before. Right. We've been on a downward trajectory on everything. And that is when I decided to say, well, let me go where the real problem is.
But then you are state council.
Yes.
And I believe by that it means you can actually provide counsel to the state and you can talk to the president. You spoke to him once.
Yes.
And he didn't do what you advised him. Mm-hmm. Was that enough for you to give up and say he can't be advised?
Mr. Mwenda, I gave up. I don't want to go into details, but the point is that there were certain things that we agreed upon, and then when there was an attempt to have a subsequent meeting, meetings didn't happen.
Right.
Okay, don't get me wrong, it's not out of bitterness or anything like that that I've decided to take this thing. No, it is purely out of a point whereby you look at it as a country.
Right.
As a country, we're in a mess. Whichever way you look at it, you're in a mess.
But where is he getting it wrong? The current president is a fairly educated man. He's also a very successful businessman. And you can't say leadership is only in politics. If you have succeeded as a leader in the private sector, surely you must be able to put the country together and provide exemplary leadership. And also, you are saying he has failed. But I would argue that the fundamentals are looking quite good. Right now we seem to be going in the right direction. Are you? You are laughing, State Council. Am I that wrong? Look, there are some policies which he has put in place which citizens are happy with, and I would insist and say that he has not completely messed up. He may have made some mistakes here and there, but how are you rating him, his performance, and where exactly has he really failed?
Mr. Mwenda, you can't fix a problem which you don't understand, right? The first order of business should have been to understand, first of all, why is Zambia where it is? Why? It's like when you go to the hospital, a doctor can't just look at you and say, Mr. Mwenda, I think you have malaria.
Right.
What will the doctor do? They say, okay, you're unwell. Yes. Check your blood pressure. Check your vitals. Check your blood pressure. Check this. Check the temperature. And then they'll say, you know what? Give us blood samples, whatever samples that are required. Why? They want to determine exactly what is wrong with you. No decent doctor will give you medicine without those results.
Right.
Once they say, you have malaria, I said, yes. They might even find that your malaria is not your normal malaria. It is the extreme one. They might even say, Mr. Mwenda, you're not going home. We have to admit you. In fact, the medicine we have to give is not even one which you have to swallow. We have to put it intravenously. The same with the country. You have to look at it, first of all. Nobody pause for a moment. Why to ask a fundamental question? Why did the PF fail? How did the PF get a country which was debt-free, literally, in 2011 and saddled that country with a debt of well over $12 billion in 10 years?
Right. Was it corruption or was it bad leadership?
It's a combination of factors. Right. So when you have the answer to that, your first order of business as a successor is to do what? To seal off for the loopholes where they went wrong. But none of that has happened.
Right.
The system is still as porous. The institutions are still. You have to go back and understand, why did Lungu get it wrong? So that you can now get it right.
Right.
We're not saying you can't make mistakes. You will make your own mistakes, but you will not repeat your predecessors' mistakes. Now, I'll give you one example. One of the reasons I talk about these things, people I think are fed up of even hearing me talk about one thing, the Constitution.
Of course.
Mr. Mwenda, that's key. if you don't sort out you don't have respect for your constitution. You don't have respect for rule of law. You can talk about all the fundamentals you want.
Right.
Nothing will happen.
But the PF actually gave us the best constitution, and you were on record to say that was the best document we ever had, and you were even thinking he wasn't going to sign it. The president signed.
Yes.
So, are you saying this government is not respecting the constitution?
Mr. Mwenda, it is one thing to have a constitution. It's another thing to respect it. One of the things you need, and I tell people this, and this is where I've differed with the other political parties, right? They all rush to say we should amend the Constitution. The problem is not the Constitution. The problem is us failing to respect the Constitution. Now, you have to understand one thing, that a Constitution is not self-executing.
Right. It needs to be enforced.
Exactly. You can have it there. It is dead. Just like the Bible, the Word of God. It is not self-executing, Mr. Mwenda.
Right.
We can both read the Bible. Your life will change, mine may not change. Why? It will change because you're applying the Word of God in your life.
Right.
But for me, I'll read Scripture, throw it away, and do other things.
Right.
My life won't change.
Right.
The fact that you have a constitution is not a solution to the problem. You now have to go strictly and respect and comply with the constitution.
But what is that act that this president and his party have done which constitutes violating the constitution of Zambia? Which
Mwenda, there are many.
Give me one or two.
We've just finished the saga to do with Bill 7.
Right.
That should never have happened. Never.
But Bill 7 and its enactment was happening after you had already jumped in.
That is correct, but it's a series. That is just a series of factors. It is also about, for example, let's take one very practical issue, fighting corruption, right? If we were serious, we should have amended the entire legal regime to do with corruption.
Right.
Because a cancer is what is killing the country. Somebody asked me, what would you do differently? I said, first of all, amend the law.
Again?
Okay.
You are against amending.
I'm against amending the Constitution.
Okay.
I'm not against amending legislation.
Right.
There's a difference.
Okay.
Legislation, you have to amend legislation to implement your policies.
Right.
Okay? When you amend the Constitution, you are basically amending the power arrangement in the country. The objective is different. Right. The Constitution says one thing. It's a power map.
Right.
Okay, the Constitution tells you the power map of the country, who does what, the ultimate authority, how it is managed. But legislation is policy.
Okay.
I would have amended the law to deal with the corruption. For example, we should actually be able to impose a life sentence for people involved in corruption.
Okay.
Yes.
But what kind of corruption should constitute a life sentence?
You know, anything to do with anybody stealing from government. You steal drugs, steal money.
Life.
You get life imprisonment. The reason is that, you see, Mr. Mwenda, I can steal from you. You're the only one who will be affected.
Right.
I steal from government. We're talking about thousands of people that will be affected. Right. When you steal from government, you are basically a saboteur. You are killing the country. I steal from you. It's just you. The damage will be localized. But I steal from the government. I mean, like how do you have a country whereby people steal HIV medicines? How? It's not normal. It's not normal.
Right.
So you need to have a deterrent.
Right.
Now, I'll tell you from my own experience, people that engage in corruption, for example, you know what scares them the most? Losing what they have stolen. They're not scared of going to jail. Okay? So you have to understand, research has actually proven that when somebody engages in corruption, he has already made the arithmetic. I've stolen $10 million. What's the penalty? 4 years. It is commuted. I'll be in jail for 2.5 years.
Right.
My 10 million will still be.
It's not money I can make in 4 years.
You get a point? So there has to be a deterrent, meaning you go in for life. Okay? In addition to that, you also forfeit whatever you have stolen.
Right.
So forfeiture is not enough. We also have to make sure that it doesn't pay to engage in corruption.
But saying is one thing. And it might be easier saying, actually. But when you get into power, then you discover that there are other issues which are a little bit complicated. And one of the challenges that I think people who get into power face is the fact that when you convict your own, right, current corruption, you are fighting current corruption. To some extent, you are endorsing that you are actually a very corrupt government. Now imagine you find somebody who's stolen drugs, they are convicted, life, and then you find another person within your government, life. Then it just begins to suggest that you are stealing more than the previous governments where such cases were not as rampant. And in the end, you seem like you're shooting your own foot. That's the reason why they fight previous corruption rather than current.
No, it's all wrong because, Mr. Mwenda, we're all equal before the law. Okay? In fact, my view is that past corruption is actually current corruption is worse than past corruption. You get a point?
Right.
So the previous corruption has already happened. The damage is known. Right?
Right.
So for past corruption, you'll be looking at recovery, to recover whatever, because the damage is already done. But what you now need to do is to prevent current corruption.
Right.
Because the current corruption is undermining whatever effort you're trying to do to fix the country. That's the problem. Between past corruption and current corruption, the most harmful is the current corruption, not the past corruption. But in any case, the past corruption, we've already found a solution to it, in the sense that we kicked out the previous government. They're gone. Why? Because of corruption. So you have to seal off the loopholes. So what you fight is the current corruption, not that in terms of priorities, for example, I would give priority to current corruption. Remember, there is no statute of limitation on crime. I can prosecute past corruption anytime, provided I have evidence.
Right.
But the most damaging is the current corruption.
Right.
Yeah. So a number of things have gone wrong. You're asking me what is fundamental.
But on corruption itself, before you move to the next thing, are you saying that right now corruption is worse than it was in PF and previous governments?
Mr. Mwenda, as long as you don't attend to the loopholes, okay, that exists. Because first of all, the law has not been amended on corruption.
Right.
Still intact. Okay? We've been hearing all manner of things and so forth. Yes, there is still corruption, I'll tell you that.
Right. But is it worse? Your own assessment, you are very close to the law, and you've been seeing all the key
This is my opinion.
Right?
This is simply my opinion. My opinion is that corruption now, you see, if you look at it, yes, I would say it's actually worse.
Oh.
You know what happens with this government? If you look at governments from 1964,
Right.
they're actually worse on the line. Okay. And if you ask me corruption now, it is far worse than it was before. That is just my opinion. Okay. Now, what we need to do is that if you're really serious about combating corruption, you have to find out what were the weaknesses. Why were these guys able to do the things they did? And what you do, you seal off the loopholes. For example, I've argued one point. Look at the relationship between the DG and the board of ACC.
Right.
You can't have both institutions appointed by the same authority. Logic could have dictated that you amend the law for the president to appoint the board and for the board to appoint the DG.
But we know that even in places where that is actually law, the president still dictates the board to appoint who they want.
Then it shouldn't happen. That's where the problem is. You're just endorsing the point I'm making. It shouldn't, because the president's job is simply to appoint competent people. And then also these institutions are supposed to be independent, by the way. The president cannot even, when it comes to corruption, the president's involvement begins and ends with putting together the board. That's it. There shouldn't even be any kind of communication between the board and the president, let alone between the DG and the president. It should never, never, never happen, Mr. Mwenda.
But you see, State Council, as president, you need to have the country together.
Yes.
And you have to literally know what is going on everywhere. And you have to have some certain level of control. You should know that, I can sit very comfortably and go to sleep very comfortably, knowing I won't wake up in the morning hearing my Minister of Finance, Minister of Defense, Minister of which has been summoned by the Anti-Corruption Commission for questioning. Why? Because the board appointed some rogue director who is trying to work, but in the process trying to undermine my government and sabotage my government. No. You have to be in control.
No. That's the lawlessness I'm talking about, Mr. Mwenda. The solution is for your ministers not to get into trouble in the first place. That's the solution. Okay? The solution. What you are doing is basically protecting your ministers. Okay? As a president, first of all, you have to be mindful that when you are choosing people, you're choosing people of character. Who would not engage in such activities in the first place. But if they do, what do? You surrender them to law enforcement agencies. Just like, for example, you heard the incident in the UK where Prince Andrew is now is under police investigation. Right? Yes, he may be a brother to the king, but he's not above the law. Mr. Mwenda, that is what is killing this country. The law says one thing, and what happens is different. Okay? Now, there are several other things that have happened.
What else other than corruption?
Well, there is a problem with corruption. And then there is also, it comes to the other thing, which is, when you look at the failures of President Lungu, what has happened is, I know people don't like to talk about the dead, but we have to talk about these things in practical terms. One of the hallmarks of his presidency was the weakening of institutions of government. What does that mean? When you are president, it doesn't mean that you're above the law. You are not. Or you're above the Constitution. No. You're still subject to the Constitution. And most importantly, for you to govern properly, you need strong institutions of government. You need a strong judiciary. That is key, Mr. Mwenda. You can have a corrupt president and weak and incompetent president, the country will survive. As long as you have a strong judiciary. Even if you have a corrupt National Assembly, but a country can survive if you have a strong judiciary. But when you have a combination of a poor judiciary, poor executive, poor National Assembly, that's a recipe for disaster. That's where we are as a country right now.
Again, I'll ask, have the institutions been so weakened to an extent that it's actually worse?
Oh, Mr. Mwenda, don't get me started on that. Let me give you a few examples. If you had a proper National Assembly, let me just give you one example. If you had a proper National Assembly, you know what would have happened? The president would not be commuting from his house to State House.
Okay. What has the National Assembly got to do with that?
Very simple. Mr. Mwenda, the National Assembly has the power of the purse.
Okay.
The National Assembly controls the funding of this country. That is how our system of government is designed. Yes, the executive branch of government collects the money, but there is one institution that approves the disbursement of that funding. That is the National Assembly. That is why you always have your budget approved by the National Assembly. You don't spend government money without approval from the National Assembly.
Okay. Which money are we talking about?
These are public funds.
Which the
revenue.
Okay.
Let me explain. For example, if you have the situation we are dealing with, right? There is already an institution, which is State House, which is allocated to the president.
Right.
That is a compound. It's a self-contained compound, right?
Right.
Clearly, you and I know, irrespective of what others may say, that the moment you introduce a requirement for the president to be traveling from his private residence to State House, that's a cost.
Right, but
there's a cost.
We don't have the evidence or a record that is actually passed on to the government.
Yes, Mr. Mwenda. All those policemen who line up the street, that's a cost. The vehicles that transport him, that's a cost. But even if we don't know, a proper National Assembly would have tabled that issue for discussion.
Right.
A proper, because the role of our system is that the National Assembly has oversight over the executive.
Right.
They would have called, it should have been an issue raised in the National Assembly to say, what is it costing the Republic to ferry the president every day?
Right.
There should have been a cost to that.
But then what you are saying, in essence, is that the opposition is weak, not the national.
No.
Because you don't expect a minister or ruling
the power,
party to go and raise that point in the House.
No, that power is vested in the National Assembly.
Right.
Right? Forget about whether that particular motion will pass or not. It should have been an issue in the National Assembly. And the relevant minister should have been asked, can you table the cost? They can come up and say, actually, it's not even costing the Republic anything.
Okay.
It's a possibility. Then they could say, well, but obviously you and I know that there's a cost anyway, even as a matter of common sense. There's a cost. Can we justify this cost? Hypothetically, for example, the National Assembly could have said, we're not approving this budget line. We're not, because this is unnecessary. You can't have State House in one area, which is empty, and then we're also spending money for the president to commute.
Right.
The very fact that the National Assembly, that issue has never been tabled, that tells you how weak and compromised that institution is.
I like the way you're using compromised.
Yes, weak and incompetent that institution is.
The opposition has also been compromised, do you feel?
Mr. Mwenda, when I talk about the National Assembly, when I talk about the National Assembly, it's a body. That you have to understand one thing. The power of the National Assembly is vested collectively.
Right.
Not in an individual, not in the opposition or the ruling party. It's collective authority.
In the body. But the body doesn't talk, State Council.
This
Somebody
is what I'm
has
saying.
to go to the floor of the House.
Yes, the fact that no one has raised that issue, it tells you how dysfunctional and weak and possibly useless that institution is in terms of our governance. It's basically a rubber stamp.
So what should the president do to strengthen it?
Very simple, Mr. Mwenda. First, you have to, let me give another saga anyway, if you don't mind.
Right.
Even look at the way Bill 7 was passed. I know it came up subsequently. What happened in the National Assembly should never have happened.
Right.
Right? Because, first, we have a parliamentary presidential system. In a parliamentary system, the power, when you are a member of parliament sponsored by a political party,
right,
you toe your party line. Therefore, over Bill 7, what should have happened is that the party like the PF should have had a position. Are we in favor for the bill? In favor of the bill or not? They should have taken, each one of those MPs should have made its position known. It should not have come as a surprise. Now remember, when you're in the National Assembly, you're exercising a position of trust.
Right.
You represent your constituency, people that elected you from your constituency.
Right.
And if you are going to vote in a certain way, Mr. Mwenda, it should be publicly known. And you must have justification to say, I am breaking rank with my party,
right,
publicly known. I'm going to vote in favor. Fine. Everybody knows. But what happened was a complete fiasco. It tells you how dysfunctional that institution is. And worst, what they talk about is where you see the speaker even dancing. Mr. Mwenda.
She's a human being. She has a right to express emotion.
No. Mr. Mwenda, when you occupy certain offices, you are denied certain privileges, certain things you cannot do. Go and dance in the privacy of your office. But you can dance, no problem.
Right.
But for the sake of that institution, the dignity and standing of that institution ought to have been respected. But anyway, there are many other things. You ask me, you reach a stage and say, how does the future look? Someone that can tell you all those fundamentals you're talking about, you are theorizing. The real picture is that the future of this country is very bleak.
Right.
For two reasons. One, we have no respect for our constitutional order. Two, there's no rule of law. No country, maybe you have to educate me if you know of a country, no country will ever.
We are not PF, but just a recap, it was advertised, I paid 200,000, many others did. The convention wasn't taking place, there was procrastination, but it took place. And Mao Samba was elected president. And some of those people who elected Mao Samba are here. They can lift their hands, they are here. They are there. Send women in Oku. There's a reason why you and you come up. Katuombana bachamu Not you, Venja Kumbu Mutari. Let us smile away. Burana Zama. They were there. This one was there. Lift your hands. They elected, Mao Samba won. Others contested and they went to court, not one court, several court cases. Close to 6 court cases in the High Court, in the Constitutional Court, and the judgments there were summarizing that Mao Samba is the president of PF. Further on down, I will repeat myself because some people don't hear. They have things in their head. Even when I speak, they just want to hear what is in their head. They don't have to like me, but they should hear what I'm saying. I'm not money, so I don't expect to be liked or loved by everybody. So I don't expect to be loved by everybody. But at least I'm comforted that I'm confident that there is a majority out there that appreciate me and appreciate what I'm saying and what I do. So at least they should follow the facts as they are. I'm forced to repeat because some chose to misinterpret. Along the way, President Lungu and I reconciled. When it was clear that he wanted to come back, some people asked him to come back. At the time, I was on record having said, it's too early for Amdala to come back. Let him rest. In my own world, if I was President Lungu's advisor, then I would have said, come back out like now, when there's a few weeks or months before general election. But some of those talking too loud and insulting me, they are the ones who said, President Lungu, come now, come now. That was like 2 years before election. That's like a marathon. That is history. But we reconciled and I agreed to hand over the party to President Edgar Lungu. Now the party where there has been ruling in court confirming me as president, you don't just hand over like handkerchief. You don't give as a president political parties. You follow constitutions, and constitutions say you are elected, or constitutions say there's a vacancy. So there was no vacancy then. I was the president of the PF. So the only was to go to court to annul myself or whatever. There's a consent is signed where I hand over to President Lungu. A consent was not signed and the case remained in court. Along the way, President Lungu died. May he so rest in peace. And The judgment came out on 27th March, a few days ago. That judgment had only two options. It was either to give back the PF to President Edgar Lungu or maintain the PF with Masampa as president. The arguments are in there. It's a big, thick judgment. The court, in its wisdom, and it's given reasons why it did so.
Good day. Let's share the broadcast today, the 7th, Tuesday, the 7th of April 2026. Happy to you that celebrated Easter. The reason for that season is our Lord Jesus Christ, and his salvation is what sustains us. And thank you for your patience. But let's share the broadcast. We are discussing something very important, something very fundamental. Congratulations to Dr. Fred Membe, Socialist Party President, who was today defending his thesis. He was giving the viva voce for his doctorate. He's doing his second doctorate in economics and finance. And this is his second PhD. He's done the first one. And congratulations, people that are dedicated and love the work. Many people just produce a $5,000 and get that honorary degree. Fred Membe has bothered to pursue that PhD, not just one. He has just done his second one. Thank you. Very admirable President, Socialist Party President, our dear brother, Dr. Fred Membe. Share the broadcast, a very important broadcast with the happenings today. I've just shown you the video by our brother Mal Sampa, who's done some major things today, and we need to put them in context, especially for members and others. For those that watch me on YouTube, I don't know what has happened with my restreaming services. Somehow it's restricted. I've been trying to sort that out, and that's why I came a bit late on the program. We'll sort it out later, but we are live on my page. And just check other pages that we are on. But I know that my YouTube, where many people watch, and X, I'm not there. But as we go to break and when you are phoning in, maybe I will attend to that. But share, that's why it's important that you share this broadcast, because people will be looking for it. And there are people that watch me on YouTube, because many people say it's very clear on YouTube. It buffers a lot on Facebook. So share so that others can know that we are here. Share the broadcast. It's a very important broadcast today. We are discussing the developments in PF, but we are discussing the Constitutional Court judgment that has directed the Registrar of Societies to man up, to act up, to remove all hurdles in registering political parties. It's a milestone judgment, but they're refusing to honor it. They're tossing it here and there. And there are various applications. The electoral calendar starts on Wednesday. There are various applications before that Registrar of Societies. They just won't honor, despite this momentous court judgment that was obtained by the Movement for National Renewal, John Sangwa, and the Legal Resource Foundation have scored a milestone in this judgment. We'll be discussing it. And then the electoral calendar kicks in on Wednesday. There are a lot of things happening in the UPND. Their new president, who has not recognized the conferences they're having. They have a Mausampa issue also in the UPND, where they have Peter Tembo Banda as new president. He declared himself. He says the mandate for the National Management Committee of the UPND expired. So there was a vacuum, and he declared himself a president, and he is relying on the court judgment that was issued in the Mausampa, because in the Mausampa case, the judge said that there was no central committee, so Mausampa was justified because there was a vacuum to hold that general conference. We discuss everything. I'm looking at the numbers. Share so that many people can know where we are. Let me just go for a small break. I want you to share. This is a very important debate. What does it mean? What does this mean to PF members? Mausampa declaring himself a legal president and dissolving the Central Committee and provincial. Are these things valid? So we need to discuss all these matters. Please share the broadcast. Fitatulanda itananeni. We are here. Let's discuss it.
6. This story I'm hearing that the president has apita. Koma MP na makansela bazaluza. Manje president azasebe. Verani. Manje president muniona nilibenzero inega. Manje president azasebeza bwanje eka. Azasebeza bwanje president eka. Mukanipasa ma independence mu parliament muja nikabauza oti lamulo tiende uko bakana. How is the president going to run a government? The president needs councillors. The president needs council chairpersons. The president needs mayors. The president needs MPs. The president needs ministers. Ndiye suti yo 2026 tifuna suti. Ngati tina vuto na MP watu ni mukazika panzi iwe bwera nkale hapa. Iwe kala. Zambia. Muma councils where we have no council chairpersons, we have no mayors, tivutika. Tifuno gwira nchito, mayor akamba vinango. Tifuna mulusaka, mayor watu mulusaka muno, mayor watu. Zambia. Kukopa belt, all the districts, we have mayors except in Ndola and Kitwe. 2026, we want our own mayor in Ndola. Ndiye nkani yo.
The UPND is a democratic party that believes and upholds the rights of members. If a member goes to court, let him proceed and prosecute his claims in court. It is not in the interest of the party for anyone who purports to be a member of the party to continuously disparage his own party. We as a party are going to defend the UPND in court. We are not going to defend ourselves in public platforms. We will defend ourselves in court.
Thank you. Continue to share the broadcast. Let's broadcast today. Like I said, my colleagues at family that watches me on my YouTube page, I've been absent the last 2 days. I don't know what's happening with my restream services, but I think it will be resolved. Let me start with some motivational thoughts. And this inspiration is from my pastor, Pastor Milton Gonzalez. People are calling. Let me find out. Am I audible? Do I have volume? Yeah, do I have volume? Let me just check because I think we are okay. Let me just verify that. Hello, sorry. Let me call you back. I'm just live. I'll call you back. Okay. Okay, thank you. Usually when I see agent calls when I'm broadcasting, sometimes I think that it could be that maybe my volume is low or there's no volume at all. And before we go into any further, just type in there. I think the volume is okay. We can proceed. I said I begin with inspiration from my pastor, Pastor Milton Gonzalez. You can look him up on TikTok and on YouTube. But There are times like this when you feel you are down, you are discouraged, and you feel disconnected, and you wonder even just what this day means. But let me remind you, the simple truth is that in Christ, in our Lord Jesus Christ, you are just not another face in the crowd. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are the apple of God's eye. He has called you his masterpiece and his beloved. He has declared you his chosen. You are chosen. He has redeemed you and he has set you apart. You are an heir, a joint heir to the throne and to creation. And your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. He knows the plans he has for you. He knows plans that he has, that he will prosper you. And he plans to give you a future. And you should remember that no weapon formed against you shall prosper, because the Lord is with you and he is not against you. There were times when we were very low, when I was serving the late president, the pressures were so much. When the pressure of the state is weighing on you, friends have deserted you, people that can help you have deserted you, and you feel so alone. And Dr. Chulwa will tell me one famous line. He says, Emmanuel, if we are with the Lord, we are in the majority. It doesn't matter how many there are on the other side. And I always remember that every time I feel alone, like I'm waging a lonely battle, then I remember that if the Lord is with me, I am in the majority. There's another matter that I've borrowed from Pastor Milton Gonzalez, when he tells us that know the difference between Peter and Judas Iscariot. They all committed offenses, but do you know the difference between Peter and Judas Iscariot? Peter had a bad day. Judas had a bad heart. Peter, you restore, you bring close despite the mistakes. But Judas, you release, you let them go. And that's why a lot of people get stuck, because how do you tell the difference? Both Peter and Judas Iscariot disappointed our Lord Jesus Christ. So who do you restore? Who do you release? How do you know when to release a Judas Iscariot and when to bring closer Peter, who has also committed mistakes? A friend who says something that will offend you, they will say something that they shouldn't have said at all. A spouse will let you down. Children will break your trust. You may hear, my child is smoking. You may hear, my child is involved in drugs. My child is abusing alcohol. That's a Peter moment. And in a Peter moment, it stinks. It's annoying. You are totally disappointed. But it doesn't define the relationship. In those moments, you should lean in to restore, to forgive, because you know that their hearts, even if they're making these mistakes, are with you. But in others, it's difficult, especially those who smile with you. They are with you. They eat and drink with you. But quietly, they are there to cut you down. They stay very close to you, close enough not to build you, but to destroy you, to use you. That's not a Peter moment. That's a Judas Iscariot moment. That's simply betrayal. Judas, you release. Peter, you keep. So the challenge has always been, how do you tell the difference of who is who? Who's a Peter and who's a Judas Iscariot? There are many times we make mistakes. We push away the people who love us, who've made mistakes, and they've messed up. And then we hold on to the people we should have, who have shown over and over again that they don't have our interest, or their heart is not with our heart. So it doesn't mean that we should be harsh. It doesn't mean that we should be cruel. It simply means we should be wise in defining those that we can keep and those that we should let go. Because then how do you guard your peace? Your peace is important. You know just how relationship bring stress to you. So know who to fight and know who to keep and know when to walk away. Because not everyone who hurts you is meant to cut off. And not everyone who stays close is meant to be trusted. So choose wisely, restore your Peter, release the Judas. This evening we'll be releasing some Judas and we'll be restoring some Peter. So share the broadcast. We have this important issue that we are discussing today, and let me just ensure that the broadcast is okay. And yeah, good. Thank you very much. I think it's okay. We can go ahead. I played a video of Mao Sampa holding a press conference at which he is declared himself PF president, and he says he has dissolved the Central Committee and he has dissolved provincial structures. I've issued a statement that ignore Mao Sampa. He has just gone to his default settings. We have seen this moment before and it has reoccurred. We gave him a chance. He reconciled with the late president. For his own interest, he has decided to take this path. The Patriotic Front held a general conference. This conference was not organized by Makebi Zulu. Makebi Zulu didn't choose the electoral college. Makebi Zulu didn't choose the rules. Makebi Zulu didn't do anything other than participate as a candidate. It was competitive. There were 7 candidates and he emerged winner. Then there was this judgment that came and restored Mao Sampa as legal president. It's been 20 days since Makebi Zulu was elected, and we have seen what is happening. The enemy has stepped right at the heart of the Patriotic Front. And to preserve the wish of the late President Edgar Lungu, you should remember that on October 28th, 2023, 4 days after Mao Sampa took over the party, President Edgar Lungu said, I am shedding off my role as former president. I am giving up security and I'm giving up accommodation and I'm giving up state benefits. We cannot allow Hakainde Hichilema to steal the Patriotic Front. We've been at that war for the last 3 years. The late president has died, stressed, isolated in trying to fight the Patriotic Front back. He died without getting it. To date, we have not gotten the Patriotic Front. And we should make it very clear. The judiciary has been used to take away, to steal, kill and destroy the Patriotic Front. They've used our own brothers. They've not used strangers. Robert Chabinga is a member of the Patriotic Front. Morgan Ingona is a member of the Patriotic Front. Mao Sampa is a member of the Patriotic Front. They've not used anybody else other than our brothers. So it even becomes a very difficult war because you have to wage this war for purposes of principle and for purposes of the larger majority. I had a lot of pressure this morning when the Patriotic Front appealed this judgment. There are many things we don't tell you, but there are many things happening in the background. Makebi Zulu wins the elections. Have you heard congratulatory notes from the people he participated with? Have you heard any congratulations from the opposition, from some members of the opposition? There's only been one brave soul in Harry Kalava who has congratulated Makebi Zulu, who has met Makebi Zulu, and who has openly embraced him after he won that election. Many of the opposition leaders are watching from the sidelines. The internal people, there are some things that are occurring in the party. To preserve the integrity of the Patriotic Front, a fundamental decision was made that we appeal that judgment. So I saw the mockery from many people that were PF Tamunaka, you are going to be stuck in court. Here is a scenario. That judgment by Madam Concepta Chinyanywa Zulu that gave Mao Sampa the PF, it was not given to PF, to Mao Sampa alone. We should be very clear. It was given to Maul Sampa and the other defendants. Many of you are not talking about it. The other defendants are Robert Chavinga and Morgan Ingona. Morgan Ingona even has a court of appeal interdict that protects him as Secretary General of the party. Even if Mao Sampa has fired him, the Court of Appeal, if you respect the judiciary, since you want to respect the judiciary, Morgan Ingona is a current Secretary General to Mao Sampa. Robert Chavinga, whatever he calls himself, is on the side that judgment benefits Mao Sampa, Morgan Ingona, and Robert Chavinga. These are the cold facts. Mao Sampa doesn't control that party alone. In fact, Morgan Ingona can even go to court for contempt for the pronouncements that Mao Sampa was making, because the three of them won that judgment. Now, that is not restoring the PF to Edgar Lungu. That is not in any way restoring the Patriotic Front to you, Patriotic Front members. So many were troubled. Why don't we end this and negotiate with Mao Sampa? Unfortunately, we cannot, because Mao Sampa didn't win this judgment alone. He won it with Morgan Ingona and Robert Chavinga. They are plaintiffs. The plaintiffs was Raphael Nakachinda, Brian Munduvile, Mutoto Kafwaya, Mulenga Fube, Christopher Kangomba. There were 9 of them as plaintiffs. The defendant was Mao Sampa, Morgan Ingona, and Robert Chavinga. When Mao Sampa agreed, reconciled with the late president, and we hammered out the consent judgment, that consent judgment was not honored. The judge refused to accept it, refused to sign it, put the matter to trial, and now she has said the winners of this is Mao Sampa, and she has said the judgment, the extraordinary conference that Mao Sampa held on 24th October 2023 is legal, legit, and legitimate. Do you, in your any moment, think that conference was legal? Do you, in any moment, think that the conference that Mao Sampa held is legitimate? Do you, even at any time in your sleep, do you think that conference was a PF conference? Of course, the answer to all those questions is a big no. Why appeal is that you have to protect what Edgar Lungu fought for. Everyone is using and abusing the name of Edgar Lungu in their broadcast. Even when they are betraying him, they are stabbing him in the back. They are saying they respect Edgar Lungu while doing contrary. Edgar Lungu took over the party from President Michael Sata after he died. Acting President Given Lubinda, the last 5 years, is the one that has been acting. Makebi Zulu has been elected as president. That's a hierarchy of the Patriotic Front. Any other outside this is not PF. Some people were mocking me, man, why do you keep on saying you are PF chairperson for information and publicity? You are a member of the Central Committee and you are a member of Patriotic Front. Patriotic Front has gone to Robert Chavinga. It has gone to Mao Sampa. I've refused from day one. It's like you have a farm and they steal your farm. They come with documents from Ministry of Lands, titles that it is their farm. When it is your farm, do you stop calling it your farm? It remains my farm even if you have the legal document. You are a thief. Time will vindicate me. Justice will demonstrate that you have stolen my farm. Similarly, President Edgar Lungu appointed me as chairperson for information and publicity. He is the one that appointed me. And I cannot abandon that role. A member of the Patriotic Front, I know how the Patriotic Front holds its general conference. And what Mao Sampa held in October 2023 is not a general conference. He has admitted himself in our consent document. I'll probably make it public after this discussion. He has admitted that it was not a general conference. But you know that this judiciary is beholden to President Hakainde Hichilema. You know that they are kowtowing with President Hakainde Hichilema. Even many people said, be careful that you've won this judgment. I came here. I was being extremely polite, that hoping that our leaders will see sense. And I kept on saying, be careful that we don't say Mao Sampa has won. Even that last week I kept on saying, don't forget that Morgan Ingon and Robert Chabinga have also won. I even demonstrated to you that Mao Sampa is saying he fired Morgan Ingona, even as a judgment. Morgan Ingona and Robert Chabinga saying they fired Mao Sampa. And you and I know, the PF being the largest political party, the final station by the state is that this party is not going to Mao Sampa. The final station is Robert Chabinga and Morgan Ingona. For that reason, we had to appeal. For that reason, we have to protect the legacy of the late president. For that reason, the sacrifices all of us we have made, we can't buckle now for convenience and surrender the party. Then what will have been our sweat? What will have been our fights over? That judgment has three beneficiaries. Just remind yourself. If it was Mao Sampa alone, probably we could have given it some credibility and say, maybe let's see, Mao Sampa is our dear brother. Maybe let us discuss. But that judgment is a forked tongue. There is underneath there the Secretary General, protected by the Court of Appeal, called Morgan Ingona. There's Robert Chabinga hovering. No changes have been done at the Registrar of Societies. It's important that the PF, you should remember, it's just not in the name and in the hearts of our people. It also has assets. Some are eyeing the assets of the PF. It has a multi-million, dollar secretariat at a prime spot in Lusaka. It has a property in Ndola. It has other properties across the country. So there are a lot of things that are called PF, not just our members. Many people are there for commercial interest. But for us, for me personally, who has seen the pen of the late president, who was tireless in his effort to get the PF, I felt that we should continue to fight. We don't know where it will take us. It will be beyond this election. And I'll come to the other point. Then how do you participate in the coming elections? That becomes another matter. It's a matter of strategy. But the soul of the PF should be restored. I heard Mao Sampa use various excuses. He seems to have been offended by, especially the broadcast by Mumbipiri. I've always appealed to all our leaders to be measured when they go to the public. This issue of spitting at each other in public doesn't help us. So Mao Sampa is using the issue that he was insulted over the weekend, and is using the issue of Mumbipiri, who was reacting to Mao Sampa's earlier broadcast. Remember, he made himself legal president. Mao Sampa, to his credit, is far smarter than he was in 2023. He's not crude. He's trying to speak language of unity. He's trying to use the name of the late president. He's trying to present himself but at the heart of it is that he's taking away the Patriotic Front. Where is he taking it to? For me, there is a big issue. If you want the judgment alone, we can say, let us reason. And then what do you do with the thousands of members that voted for Makebi Zulu? What do you do with the members from Sata to Edgar Lungu, given Lubinda, and now elected Makebi Zulu? Do you give up their will for convenience? No. So mwabantu bakwalesa, hii judgment kuichita appeal. Amapange yakwa ichile manatu yeshiva. Alifo kutwala PF kuri Robert Chabinga. Ale belebesha, ale tupela masweets, Mao Sampa kupela PF. But abalemieva that the judgment is also for Robert Chabinga and Morgan Ingona. They are not telling you that. And is Mao Sampa controlling Morgan Ingona and Robert Chabinga? Who's controlling those two? Wane, we are in danger. It's better we go back to the default position. Mao Sampa can do what he does best, but we have a duty to fight for the Patriotic Front. For me, I remember the sacrifices of the late president. You've heard many people say Plan B. JJ Banda talks about it, and Zumanzimba. They say there was Plan B. Of course, there was Plan B, and we demonstrated. We went into Petauke, won that elections using NCP. Like Lubinda took us into Chawama with FDD. So yes, those are matters of strategy, but at the heart of it is the largest political party in the country. And the attempt to steal these members, do not be confused by created confusion, by smoke. Vasha umulilo ubishi. There's just so much smoke you can't even see where the fire is. Do not be confused by that. The PF that Michael Sata left went to Edgar Lungu. From Edgar Lungu, it went to Given Lubinda. From Given Lubinda, it is with Makebi Zulu. You may not like him. You may have your opinions about it. But for me, I respect the will of the PF. Remember the fight I had with my colleagues, Brian Munduwila and the others, when they ejected Tonse. I said, you cannot dishonor ECL by dishonoring Lubinda. You have a duty to respect Lubinda. You may not like him, you may think he's preventing you, but you cannot dishonor Lubinda. Dishonoring Lubinda, you're dishonoring ECL. If ECL didn't want Lubinda, he should have removed him. He didn't. If ECL loved you so much, he should have made you acting president. He didn't. I said, for that reason, I'll protect the PF that is with Given Lubinda. Similarly, I'm telling you today that Makebi Zulu didn't organize that conference. In fact, that conference was at the verge of being lost because of the many forces, including the state's participation in that election. It's just that our people know. Like they descend in 2014. They saw the confusion, they saw the masquerades, but they knew that Edgar Lungu was the one that the late president had chosen. Edgar Lungu was in Angola. He was told, come back. The late president is going to hospital in UK. Come back. He has insisted it has to be you. And our members knew the story. So the confusion, the noise, and the smokes like you are seeing today also happened in 2014. But our members knew what the will of the president was. There were even family members fighting Lubinda, but our members knew who should succeed President Edgar Lungu. I was at that conference in Mlungushi. It is a very nice story, but very difficult. I can tell you, my dear brother, GBM brought a truck full of mattresses. Some people, delegates came from Northern Province. Mao Sampa transported delegates from Western Province, Southern Province, Eastern Province. I think Edgar Lungu had not much support. Williams and gave us some delegates from Copper Belt and Northwestern. But the bulk of the delegates were not even transported by Edgar Lungu. But pale shitanga bafika pa gate paria. Wambo kuimbati ni Lungu tulefwaya. That's how PF are. The PF members are, you really can't buy them when you think you can buy them. Here it is. A young man in Makebi Zulu who has won elections against the giants in the PF. For me, I think we ought to respect that. I understand there was a petition. I don't want to go into those details, but Makebi Zulu emerged winner in an election he didn't organize. And since he won this election 20 days ago, there are active maneuvers to disrobe him, to rob him of that presidency, to dishonor it, to rubbish it, to call it all sorts of names at no-name conference. Yes, who have we been since 2023? Do we have a name? I had 2 contempt judgments because I kept on signing Emmanuel Mwamba, chairperson for information and publicity, member of the Central Committee, Patriotic Front. And there were 2 contempt processes against me. Mao Sampa fired me, Chabinga fired me. I might be fired again, but I will never, because I know it is my farm. Someone is trying to steal this farm. I will not give it because they've come with a title that they've stolen from Ministry of Lands. So by virtue of these manufactured judgments that we know are a plot from State House, we will not give up the PF for that reason. We will not let you steal those members. It is about those members. So when 2023, unfortunately, we may go back there. And what do we do in the coming election? What do we do? The process is starting on Wednesday. When I come back, we discuss that.
Uhule ma politics wataka. political prostitution. Okay? Where now we are seeing the same things that is happening, you say, in development, where the civil servant, when a senior civil servant is visiting them, they parade a person, say this and this. This is exactly what is doing in the politics. In the first place, a political party is formed under an ideology. A political party is formed under an ideology. If there's a political party that has got no ideology, these are the political parties that they should be deregistered. It's just like churches. Today, I cannot be a Roman Catholic church. Tomorrow I wake up, I'm in RCZ. The other day I'm in Zion. The other day I'm in the seventh day. Then what am I standing for? Do I have any principles in the first place? Do I understand why the church I have joined is standing for? The answer is no. This is the political prostitution that we have seen in Eastern Province. I'm talking about in Eastern Province because that is where my mandate is. And the political parties that are receiving people that are defecting from this party to this party, they must be very, very careful. They must be very, very careful. For example, let me give you. If a political party believes in communism and another political party believes in capitalism, and if I'm a supporter of socialism or communism, how can I simply means wake up and become a capitalist today? I mean, it's nonsense. That is the prostitution. It's completely nonsense. Because these parties are formed under certain ideology, what they believe in. For example, PF, uhule politics wataka. Political prostitution. Okay? Where now we are seeing the same things that is happening, you say, in development, where the civil servant, when a senior civil servant is visiting them, they parade a person, say this and this. This is exactly what is doing in the politics. In the first place, a political party is formed under an ideology. A political party is formed under an ideology. If there's a political party that has got...
Thank you very much. Someone in the comments has said, but this was a no-name party. Come on, that's who we have been since 2023 because they took away the legal document. But the candidates, who did they pay to the 200,000 kwacha? To the process done by Given Lubinda. Who voted? PF members, party structures. Who conducted the elections? PF. There was an independent electoral commission that conducted these elections. This is a PF election. Contempt, yes it is. Many people will say contempt. I suffered 2 contempt proceedings because people didn't want me to identify myself. Fidandanda, kabora langa isa munganda. Alelanda tiba quiet, ngawaimi na kutia kutemano lupanga. The thief wants you to be quiet. So they will raise contempt charges because they want you to be quiet. They want you to call yourself other names. They want you to become a squatter over your own farm. That's what a thief does. But, and like I said, Makebi Zulu emerged in a process he didn't organize. Makebi Zulu emerged in an electoral college he didn't appoint. It was an election. And he won it. He has taken over from Given Lubinda. And Given Lubinda took over from Edgar Lungu. Edgar Lungu took over from Michael Sata. Do not be dissuaded or distracted by the noise and the smokes happening. We wish our dear brother Mao Sampa very well in his endeavors. He has fought us before. He has chosen to fight us. We'll continue to fight. What happened this morning? The Patriotic Front has lodged in an appeal. Yes, we, the Patriotic Front, because we heard it from day one that the party was stolen from us through a conference that was not legal, that was not legitimate. And umole sabera, mwana nifile chitika ku UPND, na wana wakwata president. Na waleba president wawo ku UPND ati, they didn't have, the mandate expired. So they have a crisis. The very you know, the thing you measure your friend will be measured with you against you. The same playbook has been played on the UPND. They thought they were smart when they were playing these games on us, on Savoy Imboela's party, when they took over Citizen First Party, you know, the earlier party. They thought this can't visit them. Here it is. It has visited them. So the Patriotic Front has appealed the decision of that Judge Zulu, Concepta Zulu. Her decision to give back the PF to Mao Sampa, Morgan Ingona, and Robert Chabinga is now under question. The matter has gone to the Court of Appeal. That judgment is now under question. And we hope that our lawyers can process this quickly and resolved. Before I go to another matter and I open the phone lines, let me discuss this particular issue. So what do the PF do? Their nomination is to be filed in on Wednesday. The opposition, all candidates, there are 2 days that have been set aside, 15th April and 16th April and 17th. On 15th and 16th April, the candidates who should express interest that they wish to stand for elections in the 2026 elections that will happen on August 13. A process will begin where these candidates, it's not nominations, these candidates will take 1,000 each, 100 from each province, to the Electoral Commission to be identified as candidates. And they are expected to pay the nomination fee on 15th or 16th, and then you bring this 100. What does this mean? President Rupia Banda participated in this process. He also brought his 1,000 members, but he didn't participate in that election. In 2021, Felix Mutati brought his 1,000, but on the day of nominations, Felix Mutati said he was going to support the president in his alliance. So this is a mere expression of interest. It is extremely important, but it's just a mere expression of interest. They have to pay that nomination fee and surrender the 1,000 members. Will PF participate in this process? Totally unlikely under the banner of the PF. Why? Because there are 2 court orders against this process. Number 1, there is an injunction from a Kabwe that was issued to Morgan Ingona that restrains anyone from Makebi Zulu or Given Lubinda and others from using the name of the PF. Morgan Ingona also went to the Court of Appeal and appealed against an earlier decision. Remember, on 5th March, he got a judgment against him that affirmed that Mao Sampa had fired him. But in the Court of Appeal has restored him as Secretary General, and it has issued an interdict that there should be no interference in his office as Secretary General. So for those 2 reasons, the PF is unlikely to participate under the name of the Patriotic Front. The Kabwe matter lies in abeyance. There's been, I think, Mao Sampa was pursuing that issue, but we know that contempt proceedings were issued, so probably the main case and the main hearing of that injunction is probably set aside until they hear contempt proceedings regarding the so-called no-name conference that was held by the Patriotic Front. And then at the Court of Appeal, the matter is only coming up on 14th April, a day before candidates begin that process I was earlier talking about. If the Court of Appeal wanted to be a full bench, all of them are efficient, they might hear both submissions and maybe in the afternoon rule, and maybe the PF will have a chance. If the injunction in Kabwe, the PF under Mao Sampa will have an issue if the injunction in Kabwe will have been appealed to. But remember what happened today. We have appealed against the judgment of Concepta Zulu. It has gone to the Court of Appeal. So for that reason, there will still be a court process, and the PF may not have a chance before 15th to appear. And it conforms exactly to what President Hakainde Hichilema has designed. He has designed that the PF should not be on the ballot. What will the PF do? Well, we've suffered this fate since 2023, but we've participated in elections. We've participated in Petauke, we won. Lusangazi, we won under PF, but in Chawama, we won under FDD. So likely we may take Makebi Zulu either as an independent or under a special purpose vehicle, but the PF will know this is our candidate. Whatever the Central Committee will decide, whatever Makebi Zulu will decide, you will know this is a PF candidate. Like we told you in Chawama that this is our candidate, and you saw given Lubindamao Sampa, Chimbakambwidi campaigning for PF, and our members wore regalia, but they elected. This will likely be the similar scenario, but it's premature for me to tell you. The Central Committee, I think, is scheduled to meet over the weekend to determine how its presidential candidate will participate in this election. Let's go to another urgent matter. There has been development. On 2nd April, the Constitutional Court issued a judgment against the Registrar of Societies. It has ordered the Registrar of Societies to remove all hurdles of registering a political party. John Sangwa, Legal Resource Foundation, and the Movement for National Renewal, who are trying to register a political party, rushed to the Constitutional Court, and there's been a milestone of a judgment where the court has directed that remove all hurdles. The right to participate in election is a fundamental right of expression, and remove all these hurdles. Remember what we've been discussing. They'll tell you fingerprints at the police take 21 days because they want you to miss the electoral calendar beginning on Wednesday. They'll tell you to, when you submit an NRC and to establish if truly you are Zambian, the intelligence needs 30 days. They'll tell you if you have never suffered bankruptcy and your bankruptcy has never been discharged, you will need to send a researcher to courts of laws to establish, especially that most judgments, are not online. There are a few that are online, but not most of them are online. They require time. So to register a political party, it has taken many people 1 year, 6 months, but the Constitutional Court has ruled that remove all encumbrances and allow these candidates to register these political parties. And today we saw John Sangwa issue a statement ordering the Registrar of Society to respect the judgment of the court, and he has given them 48 hours to register the Movement for National Renewal. I think he's frantically looking at the calendar that is due, where on 15th April and 16th April, they are supposed to take supporters to the Electoral Commission of Zambia. There's also on the 17th, presidential candidates who then meet. Threat to our elections in 2026. The calendar that's beginning next week will heighten the political temperature. For the first time, you will see the candidates that will participate in the elections. You will have a glimpse of them. By the time we arrive on 18th May, where they're supposed to file in nominations, we hope that some can, like what happened in 2021, where Felix Mutati collapsed his interest and surrendered to the UPND, and they went together in that election. We hope that presidential candidates can still use this opportunity to get together and say, maybe let's just feature one candidate. They will have filed in, but like we saw with Rupia Banda, like we saw with Felix Mutati, we hope that they can collapse their interest into one they think has major viability to win against President Hakainde Hichilema. The lines are open. Let's hear your views.
Uhuru ma politics wataka. Political prostitution. Okay? Where now we are seeing the same things that is happening, you say, in development, where the civil servant, when a senior civil servant is visiting them. They parade a person, say this and this. This is exactly what is doing in the politics. In the first place, a political party is formed under an ideology. A political party is formed under an ideology. If there's a political party that has got no ideology, these are the political parties that they should be deregistered. It's just like churches. Today, I cannot be a Roman Catholic church. Tomorrow I wake up, I'm in RCZ. The other day I'm in Zion. The other day I'm in the Seventh Day. Then what am I standing for? Do I have any principles in the first place? Do I understand why the church?
That if it wasn't for Bill 7, they were going to lose the elections. Unsolicited. There was no journalist who forced him to make that statement. He made it on his own. We were saying as a nation, many people in the country were saying Bill 7 is about the 2026 elections. People were denying that. Even himself was denying that. But now he's saying it unsolicited. So if Bill 7 is about him winning the elections, if without Bill 7 he was going to lose the elections, what has he done?
Yes.
What have they done to make them win with Bill 7? And indeed, if he's not lying, there are some mechanisms that they have put in place that will enable them to win, that will disadvantage their competitors. So the status quo as it stood before Bill 7 was not favorable to them winning. They were going to lose. So what is it that he has done in Bill 7 that will make him win? Again, we can see that there is an attempt to ensure that there is no contest. We have applied 34 times as at 2 weeks ago, 34 times to have a rally in Zambia. Since 2021, we have never been allowed to have a single rally. They are finishing their term of office without the Socialist Party ever being given a chance to hold a rally. And it's not just rallies, even just small meetings. They are going after you. How do you...
Good morning, fellow countrymen and women. My names are Patrick Tembo Banda, the UPND interim president. Fellow countrymen and women, today I thought I should introduce myself formally to the people of Zambia, arising from the many comments that have occupied the media space. So, like I've said, Banda Patrick Tembo is my name, and the UPND interim president. Banda is everything about UPND. The UPND which most people think they own it. The UPND which has ushered in.
Okay, the lines are open. The lines are open. You can call. Let's hear your contribution. This is, the wealth of this program relies on your views. The lines are open now. You can call and make your contribution. The lines are open. There's a matter I need to speak to. The harassment of the opposition has continued. This is a side issue, but we should stand in solidarity with Brian Munduwile, who has been harassed the last 1 week, the police following him. If they want, in any way, they want Brian Munduwile, why don't they issue a call out? Why do they have to pursue him like a fugitive? Why do they want to ambush him and literally abduct him? Why don't they issue a call out? What kind of conduct, this criminal conduct by the police? And today we saw George Sangwa look for the video where he alarmed the nation that even on over the weekend they nearly got a brand Munduwile. This is totally unacceptable. Let me just pick the first call. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and give us your contributions.
Hi, Ambassador Mwamba. This is Queen Pumi.
Thank you, Queen Pumi.
Yes, so thank you so much. First of all, just happy Easter to everyone, wherever you are, Zambians by descent or birth or Zambians by heart. I know a lot of people are following Zambian politics now because of the oncoming election. So greetings to everyone and happy Easter. I liked how you opened the show, just encouraging us because I was feeling very low today. And it's actually very disturbing to see how everything is unfolding. But I have jotted down a few points. But Miles Sampa, really, we just need to write him off and move on and just focus on the things that really matter. I'm happy that you have petitioned the ruling by the Judge Concepta. I'm happy that that is done. I also want to say that one of the clips you are playing here is like, what is your ideology? You can't go from being a Catholic today, my Nuevo SDA, you know? So, and I think in Zambia, we really need to educate our voters, to our voters, that these people who are jumping from one party to another, they are not there to help the voters, but help themselves. Their ideology, the Zambian politics, their ideology is tribalism, Tuliemo, and regionalism. And we have to educate voters with the Donch Kubeba method. That is the best thing we can do. How can somebody who's jumping from one party to another party every election campaign season develop your constituency? There's a video circulating where, I think it's in Pemba, the people there, they are drinking water from a water hole. Same with the animals. That is not only in Pemba. Also, I had a gentleman from Chikankata area. He also complained the same, that the people there, they are drinking water from water hole. Honestly, after 62 years of independence, this is showing a government that is not serious at all. They went to play in government. Why am Angala to be on holiday? Honestly, how can you promise to build a university when you have failed to put a borehole in the people who have been loyal to you, Bahaka Inde? The people of Southern Province have been loyal to you, Bahaka Inde. The little you can do, Bahaka Inde, is to even pump water from the Zambezi or sink boreholes in your region. It is so sad, and we have to call you out. Bahaka Inde, na when no one to no one tonga who south the no mubuga. Gamubuga who south the no one muhotela muntu ya uchinja wumi wenu. After 62 years, every election, musapota boba haka inde ichile matawaje heba mijitila. Ngamu menda ngombe. Pemunya mulabola online wamba chipaka 2090. Paka 2090 munywa menda ngombe. Pemunya umozwa tulimu Champions League. Have some shame and have some self-respect. It's really annoying. Ambassador.
Yes, indeed, my sister. Indeed. Thank you. And you've spoken about Mausampa already. Thank you. Let me take this call, and you can call because you this is your show.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Mr. Piska from Matero, make your contributions.
All right, okay. Good evening, sir, Mr. Mambo.
Good evening.
All right, okay. So,
Hello?
Yeah. I was trying to... Hello, Honorable. Yes, hello, caller. Is that Honorable Mumbipiri?
Yes.
Yeah, yes, madam. Make your contribution. I don't know. The other line has dropped. I hope my brother will call from Matero.
Oh,
Yeah, make your
okay.
contribution.
Awe tata bamwamba. Mwabomba shani.
Yeah, yo mwatuwika mafia.
Awe tata. Tabu mwane fide chitika. Antwala ndakutu moyo mwana le tatiko kwale kaine. In the past almost a week, my phone has been hacked twice. Mumfira chipadi aba bepele. Katuishi language. I'm sure mwali umfa broadcast. Did I insult anybody? Anyway, whatever they can say, mafuta tubesuba. But what I can tell you that if you have program, God is in control. And abasha ishibalesa. Ano tufikire mu Zambia. Ero balamuna ukuboko kwa kwalesa. Tatanga mwamona mu Bible. Mwali mfumu Nebukadnezar akyushisha abantu. Lesa ipanika yali ekyali yali kitarubent. When Paul was traveling to Damascus, akumanya lesa panshira, amwalula empofu, Paul alirapire. Tata, we have other examples like King Pharaoh. Alichushishe abana ba Israel. What was the end of him? Tata lero natumona kumazabuka y'ama prime elections alekitaya ba UPND. Bana mayo okufuula balera ng'amabeere pansi. Do you know what that means? Ine pano mperere na bula amabeere ayakupuka ndera nga pansi n'aleka kalokonsha. Biryali tipo. Tuko sefye mukupepa, and at the end of the day, we all win it because abare moreka kwati barefu abachite disqualify other candidates. We all know Kashara Ponga ni umo tukachita agree we rally behind that person as long as Tebata Tabaka in the Ichirema. And I know God will do it for us. Zambia na balida.
Thank you, Mario. Thank you very much. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from. I think your line got cut. You said you're calling from Matero. Reintroduce yourself.
Okay, I'm Mr. Teska from Matero.
Yes, Mr. Teska, make your contributions.
All right, okay. So now, me as a citizen of Zambia, I just want to say something concerning our current judiciary in this country. You know, Mr. Mwamba, I didn't do law, or I'm not a lawyer or a judge, but I'm just depending on just simple civic education which I learned from school. You know, it is worrying currently just to hear our current judiciary, the way they handle matters. You know, these people, it's like they are not even ready to put this country together. It's like they are on a high speed to destroy this country. Since they are being used by these politicians. And then if one can ask a very simple question about the people who are supposed to organize the general conference within a political party, like if we are to follow the law, the PF constitution, I'm telling you, this judge is offside completely, and is even ready to cause confusion in this country, because there is no way that judge can deliver that sham judgment. PF has a very good constitution amongst themselves. PF, they know to say how they can choose a president and other leaders. Just for instance, there are powers of the PF president, such that if the president himself or herself wants to resign, that person must do what? Must appoint someone who act as acting president, of which our late president, Dr. Edgar Chagwalungu, did. He appointed Given Luwinda to be the acting president. That's what the procedure says according to PF Constitution, of which Given Luwinda and those people who are in Central Committee, there are other leaders in the PF. Those people, they are the ones who are supposed to organize for any general conference. But what this current government did, they sponsored some stooges who happen to be Mao Samba and other friends to destroy the PF completely. Meaning me, as someone who is not a lawyer, I'm even able to say this judge is not okay, this judge is not straight. How can he deliver? I mean, how can she deliver such kind of a judgment? Because PF at that time, they were what we call people who were in Central Committee. If today UPND has lost power, it doesn't mean that immediately those leaders who have been chosen through General Conference, they lose their seat. It doesn't happen like that. Meaning there's a stipulated period of time for those people to hold those positions until such a time comes for them to hold a General Conference. But what we are witnessing now, according to the judge who delivered that sham judgment to say immediately PF lost the power, they were vacuum in position. It is nothing like that. So we are just waiting to see the meeting that we are going to have this weekend, so that at least we know how we are going to go about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. There are many callers. Please, let's see how we can reduce. Yeah. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador Iva Munkonge.
Iva Munkonge.
Chakubalira po Ambassador before nshiraisa mu Malaysia mukatikeso takatiye. Ndekonseresha kofe ama supporters wonse nama members wonse abatemo PF. Tapali tasiri onse ichinjishe pantu ichintu takiwa ECL. Echintu itakonganyapo. Chetwalero lero kutala leader president para barubinda bakukunze okubaze acting president. Twalisala kale okupitira kuma members twalisala bamakepe zuru. So kitwakwata okukatamana okweba ti baraba makepe zuru twasadire twasanga okweba ti bafumapo olopinga takamana. So ifo tukonganye kufya okubomba omulimo mu structures na fimbi fyashara tapali ichanyiwo ichachitika kwapa vamaosampa filafine varechita kuri va ECL efyo varechita nalero tavatara vachinjapo twamwene kwati vachinja oronga twakonga sana tesi tupitena mumbali nango kushentekwa vamaosampa na vachavinga na vang'ona vatwangala fye kubreni vantu vamuveni okubika pona va UPN wainarandirevi because mu UPND na mufuma ili achinka ili akweba tifitika mu UPND tefitunturule lwabere ba UPND bafuru okweba tesitemu ekirongano kireo naika ngefyo nekyalo kireo naika so ba UPND batontonkanya at instead abantu basite concentrate kula mfu wa marangozi ya mu UPND baikala panshi n'abasampa kweba tipanga kwa news aya kweba ti abantu bambi okulanda pali PF so ndekozeresha abantu bekenye okulanda po bamasa mpala ngubenga panga ma press conference tibakonkanya po kale bamba 3 years basitafe finchimofini fot konkanya po movement yo ba ECO bashinde PF tukesa ipoka kuntanshi kaishupe fwe abantu tukonkanya po nakwata pamoja alliance umuri ama opposition parties ayengi ayo tekiturumbule pantunga to yarumbula kuti wamboko yakonka so mweba leo mfokuri wa mao sampa tabali po connected na market zuru ba mao sampa tabali po connected na ba given winda ba mao sampa tabali po connected na ba edgarung tabali po connected na mpiani market zuru ba mao sampa bali connected na ba ngona so ile press conference bapangira ba mao sampa bare stari press parapa ali bachavinga babika po bacharity apa ali bangona babika po na bandi so tafili connected kuma structure yes ama structures yes ifona kwata president wesuma kepi na muona na mali pressment ale byika so ila press conference aba mausampa bapangire bachavinga kuroko baya na bangona epo bachitira mali pressment ekintu kyanyu awo nikuru balirwa bona bangona na bachavinga so mwe bantu mwiposa kwa mano ubutungurushi bwa PF bwashiri ba Edgar Budungu buli muri ba Cape Zulu de tabari po affected ba Rubinga tabari po affected ba Mwamba tabari po affected ama provincial chairman tabari po affected ama provincial ama district chairman tabari po affected ture pekanya special vehicle plan biba myebere ba ECO mukaimona special vehicle tapari ichinge minika papua kwe mwebe na Zambia so muisaka mana cho mausa mpefya isa achilinganya ba Cape Zulu patali sana mausa mpa ena kuishwa fefra fili na bachavinga bali ishwa bere na arani so bakwatana ba UPNG so baisa mukupange chongo pakwa mwe ntumuleke kuroresha ba UPNG impa sasa imiri mumwabo ifoto alisova to alisare ntungurushi Cape Zulu no kumutungirira ture mutungirira na special vehicle ikesaranga muchita compare ba Cape Zulu na ba Mausampa chiteni compare ba Mausampa na ba Chavinga na ba Ngona ila executive ba Sampa ba pangire pa 20 pa October ila ba pangire ro bachite kupu ichipancheso executive bare chita amendi ila ine ba pangire bali kwata MCC ugumwa baba Chavinga na ba Ngona yo bare chita amendi ichipancheso ama structures so muisaka mana mwe bantu lero ba UPNG na bakwata ma confusions ayengi so barefu aromba batuma umuntu akwisa pange chimfurumenya paka bati mwiroresha yara ma confusion ifota tukwete kwa ma confusion urendo lensari tupara to alisare ntungurushi ma Cape Zulu so don't compare ma Cape Zulu na basampare keni bare stama press conference bare pangabe nefu barefu ata tafikwete nchito kuma structures ya PF kare bamba na baiseo tabarafwa ni pipini bare keni bakonkanye kwa makoti yakola konkanya apona ba general secretary ba banakachinga na fimbi lero tafyachite affect movement yesu mwe bantu mwisakamana no cruising hope to alisare ntungurushiresa ali tupara opona aperera bamwana.
Thank you very much. There are so many calls. Let's pick those. Let's hear from others. Yes, there are so many calls. Let's hear from others. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Daniel from Cape Town. Good evening, Honorable.
Daniel, make your contribution, my brother.
First things first is about the PF. Personally, I've been in the PF, supporting the PF for a long time. So whatever Mouse or any other person is doing doesn't shake me because we've been there before. If we go back when that President Saturday, there was wrangles about who's going to take over. There were giants who wanted to overtake ECL. They failed. Eventually, they started supporting him. And PF reorganized, and we were back to normal. So even this time, like Mao Sampa, if honestly he had to stand with this young man, is it whatever, Black Apple, the one who's at the secretariat most of the time, I would rather vote for that young man because he's patriotic to patriotic front. He looks more responsible than Mao Sampa. And if he thinks Mao Sampa, we've seen his failures, even being a mayor in Lusaka didn't work out very well. So for some of us, not Vishwati, if we to Tunguruda, it's a peace we have in PF. Ukuishibata padi umuntu ngesa HTV Vurungani, Ukawina. UPND won the election through malice Uganda, where has it taken them to? Even things that happen to them, some are just unthinkable, because you see that the president is enjoying with the user students today. Tomorrow, users an invitation. Can't you think of how does this happen when the students are with him? He's claiming that you are my friends. They don't tell him about the sanitation situation. So it's only God who intervenes that you try by all means to do the best, but since he's against the people of Zambia, he's doing what is wrong. Nothing will go his way. Same as Vamao Samba. If PF was given to him, Gayamulupwa, he could have been given a biggest position in PF. But even Uruporuine, they never considered him. Maybe if he had thought that to be a responsible politician or just in a person, he could have gone through levels, win elections in the PF, be responsible, be appointed, not why Maweka Wayapanga convention, why winisha. Ikabafenga Ariama company to Mona Zulu and San Zakari. When the father dies, it never went anywhere. Yare Puira Fie. So I would urge the PF supporters to fibike fe mmakaya PF. Let the spirit of PF go as it is. Not to kutalikana na abantu bamaozamba basende PF pakanwa na pafipepo poveshibe. But when the time comes, those structures know that it's Makepi Zulu. Even if it's me who personally don't know Makepi Zulu, I wouldn't say me, my heart is with PF. So whatever PF comes up with, I support. I'll argue at the end of the day, maybe if someone fails to perform, but if the elections say it's Makepi Zulu, who am I to refuse? That's the politics we are missing in Zambia. We push our personal interests. And I'm happy, Honorable Mwamba, you are saying it's like someone who comes at your farm. You've been there for 50 years, you won't be shaken because you know this is mine. And the people who recognize you as the owner, that man who takes the papers and stuff, who have no neighbors to talk to, because they will tell him to say, you are not the owner. So, send the PF there is going to rule. And the people is aligning with the UPND. They are also failures. They are wrangles already. Who's going to go in the party where people are fighting already? And for Chavinga, there are things, we are Africans, we are Zambians. President Michael Sata, may he so rest in peace, sweated for that party to be where it is. There was something that he did to have that party. For many years, he was fighting. No, Mbavena, he's trying to be inhuman. Kuleta potundu. Ukuishami kafie. Spirits of the dead don't rest. You can be clever in front of cameras, but one day or the other, I'm sure he's listening or he will listen to this. One day or the other, life will catch up with you. Life, it might be not you, I'm not guessing, I'm not saying, but we've seen it. Ulech Tomu somewhere in front of cameras, where someone sweated, where someone had planned for a party. Imomo Aisa, you are going there to say, Narikwa teach paper, Narikwa teach Rishan. You never even think of your children. You never think of the life after you, where people who suffered, but we show you, ever. So, some of the people, some of us that are in the PF, let's wait and see what will happen. We've won it before, we are going to win again. Bambiaba Bedesho Mufurobadi Keremo opposition for years because the party Aboba Ichangwide, Bakekara City Abu president, ni one team Wakafumapo, who are going to be his friends. No one. And these judges that are in the court, the judiciary, please, Zambians, let's learn from this one to say, if someone is doing things because he's scared of the president, when the time comes, we must also say this one must not be practicing, or whatever they do, they mustn't work in Zambia, because they've shown us to say they don't do their job. They are there to listen to whoever gives them instructions, whether they are wrong or right. They do it. Professionalism has gone out of them, because some of the things, some of the things that they are doing, even one wakateka patefyo twaramonekera, like dancing in parliament, that video will still be there. So
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Let me take some more calls.
They don't belong to Zambia. They must find another Zambia, because in Zambia we believe in one Zambia, one nation.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name. I'm sorry for holding on for a long time.
It's all right. My name is Uncle J.
Uncle J, make your contribution, my brother.
Thank you so much. Mao Sampa, let me pick up quickly the issue of Mao Sampa. It's good that, PF has a soul. A soul can be felt. A soul can actually be seen. And people understand what PF is, where PF is, who wants PF. So we are not shaken, by the step that the traitor has taken. We've known him to be that, and he's always been like that. It's sad that he doesn't learn from the past. His political life or career was just resuscitated when Edgar Lungu considered him, for the mayoral candidature in Lusaka. But he has forgotten all those things, and today he's continued. For me, I have no doubt that Mao Sampa, just like he did in the past, is still working UPND. Why am I saying so? You remember that lady that is with, that shabby lady?
Charity Katongo. Yeah, Charity Katongo.
Audio. Yes. That is the person that is really behind him, and they are always together, and she gives prayers. Whoever she prays to, I don't know. So they are literally just working to destabilize and just make sure that Zambians continue to go through what Zambians are going through. The widow of Africa continues to live in Africa. That is his intention, that is his aim. But that is not going to stop us. That is not going to stop us to do what we are supposed to do. We have a president already. Makebi Zulu is the president that has been chosen by a patriotic branch. I heard him use the word legitimate. No, he's an illegality. At no point will be an illegality become legal, regardless of what happens. What he did on the 24th of October, it was an illegality that was facilitated by the state. And the state, the same state through the courts, have upheld what they started and what they did. That doesn't make it legitimate. No, it can be legal through, fraudulent system that we have. Our courts have no credibility. Some judges, I'm sure they are there that are credible, but most of them are a machine that is being used by the state. So Mao Sampa shouldn't even, in his conscious feel, that he has anything that is going to move the people. He can remain, continue pronouncing what he's pronouncing, but we know where we belong. We know where ECL belonged. We know where Michael Sata belonged. We know, where PF is and where PF stands. Right now, the person that is carrying the soul of PF is Makebi Zulu, and will continue supporting Makebi Zulu till 2020. This coming election, he will stand and he will definitely get the victory. I thank you.
Thank you very much. My brother, tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Ndita Mwabombeni. Vane kuchingora landeni po.
Vamwamba iriya ya kwa Mao Sampa chakubalira ko iriya kirala ndatu achumfa bonzi no kufa tulopfa Boatwele ya confusion ya PF. Teimo ba mwamba. Ema kepizulu tebambi. Mausma sampo mwine. Yalela ndoko watishisha ponenga ndati every few. Yaona ula pipalu wakwe. Noti ifwe. Elo yalama shuwi yonse tuwa yufo kutira walala ndo kutira yonse lechi panichaba yama. Yalama shuwi yakwe. Abena Zambia balitaka leti saiti. Jai nebe immediate ya fucheve chipani asende atuala ku UPND. Aya kuata na ya convention pa 24th October 2023. Abena Zambia no batiri saiti. Baisho no kushibati mwa pausamba atuatali atukukonga. Tatuwa mukongere abuela. Tatuwa mukongere mtira abuela mula kuwa chipani na mchana shani. Kwa le mulo le shavi no kumona. Because kwa lela tatuwa oma structures. Tatura ndai tatuwa oma structures. Tatuwa oma structures. Aya PF. Copper Belt and Northern Province. Apatura cha organize after night and day. Ichocho tule janu kwa babao samba basende chipani baya twala kuja. Bao samba na o nani magebi zuru nani chabinga na watu wala kuja. Bamba no kupanga cha kupange bali pa. Twalimu ishiko kwa bao samba is 100% is a UPND supporter. That's why even today abantu tulemu ishoko bati decide to conquer ichakubalira imake bizo mundubire ababere babiringa bayigatana twasendo ko twalaya na structure yeso ko twalaya ndoku ina kwa mukya wama ekwe bati mulandu wako bati yochana mulandu wako bati FTT abatire bayita install kwe bati twakula bukya ama political parties yabiri FTT na NCP niwa matani ba etika cha kwalungu lefwana mtabule lefwaya eba ebere ati mapolitiko tupate twakula bukya yonse mu by election so twalisha lana chachile cha shire ba eti kalungu kila ebe tufile twabo lelo la ina mashi wale fo kwe batyo ine na fwaye fina chisefi mawo sapate ya tuitisha ba election abo asonde bonza ma structures ya kwa sentere balate twatuitisha ma election babe ne ba charity katanga baliko kula balela ndo mafa charity kulenga katanga bali atulera ndo twatuitisha ma election yafi nebele elili nebe batambo kuisenda yafi nebe bakaba ngale fwaya ebweshe chipani aiche isto president wa party iwa DF ngabale kwa baka kubilike bajaje as long as basa tabai baishite mu chipani cha bena Zambia no kutai isto abena Zambia tikombere bena Zambia tabai bena chipani ifo kwa bena Zambia tulibana natuli fina mafya kwa batwa tushire pafamu achone ngombe shandishi toto alikuwa tensa ya kutside so twalita tside na mwanzo mo tulela ndatulebya magebi zulu na mundubire abanga baleo ikale ni paishi kulekeni mausa mbolekere bonzo baleta likana again na kwela ko panon bamayiwa mu bibi don't doubt mube fye bwino mulelo ndurura nge mwe bale fwa okuwa myekipani na ngwale ko okuwa mya munani makebi zulu tatule fwa efya kula tulauka mu atorokero twapapata uruguli tulelwa mutulefwa ba mwamba imwe mukabwere mu mchalo chintu cha Zambia tete banda akabwere mu chalo cha Zambia abaka kwabena chirango banani na nani babwere mu chalo cha Zambia ichitumbi chaba etika cha kwalungu chikezeshi kwa mu mchalo cha Zambia our aim bamayiwa mumbi tone down mwirata likana na mausamba kulekeni mausamba bwe bala diringa na mausamba bwe basunga ma structure mausamba takatera kapite mu even wa great wa boss we swat even yes but shere ko bachipani for 5 years nshobora kutarija bafita mu ma structure kwishwa ma structure ya ikala tabatara abanyanta kono kwishwa ma structure nshobora chingola ba ikala shani nshobora northern province ba ikala shani balu wakula ba ikala shani tabatarija bafita mausamba takatera kapite so tuleko selesha nya bonse fwe bali kuri magebi zuru bali kuri mundubire isheri pamo structure yeso bashibasa tabatushirire baja tuisho funfunye yo mausa pole yuko na ngule tashana shani tuanaka wasinda ba ichabe na ababa nani ba FB shani uko bena chama America batu kaule nseli wa president ba China shani you are the one wale tukishaba maus banani baitika cha golungu nakaili wa kwera nakaili wa ambo kulita kwa vipi ulefu atule landa bepali yowi kabia ku UPND just because ended panja UPND kubaleti ntana kitwale tatulesa kama ifona tafutia les ala tupala na ngwa FTT na ngwedi nani kalabanga asubira ko batwala bombera pamo tukabombera pamo ro tukoma campaign tatwa kafiwe tatulia mu matumba ya ipo politician takutimwe wa kundashi aba structure tamwa teramu yashunga pona ku aba structure yala chula aba pie kwa bele baisunga fyabe lero gwele nakayuta byo kula tushumba kwati ndini moto Northern Province tuleba tulina tulelanga nabo nalonge tuleba kosereshi cyo tulefu abe lima gebi zuru na mundubire nga mulefu abe ba MPND nga balefu abashumbe mundubire tabashumbe na magebi zuru tabakashumbe nabachifumo banda kali aba bakutatuisha ama election ya ono mwaka umo alepula ngapula ula wiyo tukakonka elo nga tuamukonka kwa making na abe nenga mukabatola mu seozi tukeba tukomeni campaign tukashala tule uma ku campaign kulopunsa until kwenda pamakasa ngaba byeshi bezo bakali balenda shani pamakasa tukuma campaign cho twanaka na mausa twanaka kulanda bali mausa ewa tuletera problem tena nila problem waleta aba muletera bambi niwe ne waleta ila problem ewa leta ila problem bamu wapwe ewa temo basata benya bapangire kile kipanyala ndati batati bayama ngatakisana evyachita nababere bamayo ya charity bere bayire kokuyanga tabachitana vya bachita ngabali kala be banchi balosha kutira musheko ena mushashi maiko chirusha satangali shire ibi yega tuchita kuti aisa tureka ewa mshuwa basata tabakwete numwe kuhusu mungu wa kwatu mtima usu masana to nakasana ate tikisana press briefing yale isonda okisho so ndabo bene ole so tafio baso ozo wole fwa tukamonanga bakesa isa ba structure yesu kuna mchingola okay sengo kasenta kona ngwabi because kuli yaba kwa mungu bile naba kwa magebizulu chapwa magebizulu ngole ukwapa tambeni ukikala na mungu bile kulande bino ko kutidirije jino twanaka na yu twanaka balabwela ndiba mwambaleke
Boni, thank you very much Bon from Chingola. Let's hear from others. Hello caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Hello caller, you are on. Hello caller, you are on.
Hello, Emmanuel Mwamba Mulishani uko.
Yo tulife wino. Kindly introduce yourself and tell us your contribution.
Anonymous in Zambia.
Yes, anonymous.
Yes. Tifuna tikambe pankani yaba mausi samba. Nkani yaba mausi samba iya manje ya president bakalipe kumwalira bamene bana kamba kuti ni fighting la ziko yatu Mzambia kuti ibwerere munomo ba mausi samba tinabazwa kutala kuti ni baje bantu usokoneza bamene banasokoneza DF. So bali no time futi again wapweza po futi kani jamenelezezo anachitafuti pachashwa president watu wakali moyo. So wamausi samba ife tinabasula kudala maningi dewo Zambia wamausi samba wanawachoka mu PF. So tenzo kukamba kuti siani PF inkalimanja mwa wamausi samba chavinga na ngona wasieni. So pamene taziva kuti abantu basenza pamozi na ba UPND tenti chokemo PF izakapwera mu 2031 izaka zileta eka wasavutika na PF NTC already kunapangika pamozi alliance quite right. Maketi Zulu anatenga abantu bonse amene anasiya ba Edgar Chagwalungu ku pamozi alliance wamene wanasala benango ni baje wamene wali kuli ndani kuli Mundubire. So apa jameti yangana kufunga kusenza pamozi Mundubire na ba Maketi Zulu amausi sampa wasieni basenza pamozi na Chavinga na Bangona na UPND wasieni baja bakalisocha balibe bantu awanga mpange ma meeting kumanyumba kwao kuja ni yao kungere mwamene waziwira ne biwulene bake but ife hizo ndio want still now AI. So nipewe fulo kamba kumunga pali wa mausi sampa ngane kuli abantu amene banachuzinga manja apa Makebi Zulu na Mundubire whatever muntu amene apeza kuli Mundubire wasagamba kuti sali bwino alichabe bwino amene apeza kuli Makebi Zulu alichabe bwino koma pakusira kwa ndawi baja vantu zakakhala pamozi bazakatenga abantu bauku na kupeleka kuli Makebi Zulu vantu kuli Makebi Zulu kupeleka kuja PF tizakaifuna mu 2031.
Thank you. Hello caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
This is Precious Inonge Muyeta from Livingstone.
Precious, my dear sister, make your contribution.
Yes, like for me, I just want to say that all our true green family, let us all support Wamakebi Zulu. You know, in 2023, when we saw Sampa, whatever he was doing, myself, Honorable, if you want, you can even ask the bodyguard to ECL, Bachanda. Someone told us, said, the person using Sampa, you want to make him a running mate, and at the end, they want to say that they're in alliance. And they said it was by UPND, but I didn't believe. I thought like it was a joke. But now, even when I saw Wamau Sampa apologizing to our ECL, I thought like maybe Wamau Sampa, the person who was using him, maybe he just wanted to know the truth about him, the person who wanted to destroy PF. But I didn't believe that indeed Wamau Sampa is the one behind whatever is happening. And Honorable, to be honest, the way I've seen myself, Wamau Sampa is not alone. There are some others with green snakes in the green grass, and they are not just showing. Wamau Sampa is not alone, and they want to make the fake democracy so that they can betray us, people of Zambia. So now when they've seen that Wamakebi Zulu is the one who is patriotic, so there is that jealous, because their plan was to use Balungu for their own selfish benefits. So now they've seen that Wamakebi Zulu is royal and he cannot betray Balungu. This is why everyone is against Wamakebi Zulu. So what I'm urging the people of Zambia, let us all open the eyes. Even what that man was saying that, no, let them work together with Brian Mundube. But Brian Mundube has already moved on. Let us look on the person who is going to save the people of Zambia, and that is Wamakebi Zulu. We are not saying he's not going to work with others. He's going to work. God is going to provide genuine people who are going to work with him. Because this issue of saying, let them unite, at the end, the same people they want to be united with Wamakebi Zulu, they can still betray Wamakebi Zulu, just like they did Kuli Balungu. You remember in 2021, there were some people who pretended to contest a ticket here PF, but they were not with us. They were green snakes in the green grass. And today, we were betrayed, and you can see. So, President Wakainde Chilema, whatever the game is playing right now, it will not work. And the bad history that you are living, including those who are working with Wamau Sampa, if you are listening and you know yourselves, just know that the history that you are living a very bad history. And it's a shame to see that leaders who are supposed to be there to fight for what is right, you are busy involving yourself in this issue. Anyway, this is what I wanted to contribute, but God is on the throne, and God will continue fighting the battles for our ECL. All hypocrites will know them. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, family, we need to close the broadcast. Maybe let me take the last cause. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from, and make your contribution. Good evening.
I'm grateful. I'll go anonymous as well.
Yes.
Yes. I'm calling you from Katete in Zambia, though I'm from Lusaka, but I've been on the Eastern Province for a week now.
Okay, my brother. Make your contributions.
Yes, I just want to contribute today in this sense that I think you've got a very big job on your hand, especially you, Mr. Mwamba. I'm just asking, these two giants that we have, Makebi and Mundubile, please sit them down. I can tell you, I'm talking from deep down in Katete. And they want both those two people to come together. And we don't have the time. We don't have the luxury of anything. Let those two people come together. Whatever is happening with Maus, whatever he's doing, leave him alone. I'm urging you, please, call Makembi, call Mundubile, let them sit down, let them come together. Whoever picks it, whoever becomes president, I can tell you a lot of people out here are behind them, and they can make a very good team to challenge or even change the status quo that the Zambians are going through. Please, it's a plea from the Eastern Province. That I can tell you. I can assure you. I can give you so many examples deep down in towns. That's the cry of the people. Those two, whatever happens on whatever people's vehicle they can use, let them go together. Let them sit down. They are brothers. They are from the same family. But you should play a very big role. Forget about what has happened in the past. Forget about whatever was said, what and what. Let them come together, because this country, if we lose it this August, I can tell you, we all will be like you, will be running away from this country. Please, I'm urging you, I'm asking you. You've got a very big platform on which you can bring these two brothers together, and they can make one strong challenge for this country, because beyond this, I can tell you we are doomed. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from, and give us your contributions.
Good evening, Mr. Mwamba.
Good evening, my dear sister. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
This is Didi Ndola.
My dear sister, make your contributions.
Mwamba. Okay. Mwamba na mushwati na ino ishtaba ipe soko gari.
Them crying.
Eko gari ba yudas kati. Tule mafia muko yesu badi mutanika ba mwipaya mouse sampa. Ta pusana na yudas kati. Uyo muntu, gishishi wala Bible abelenga. There is no wengala leta fe confusion wa muntu wa mkulu. Nangu ni mwofesi yako lo alipe, alife wa salangana. Ukuya mu mwofesi, alekisa fe fintu fya salangana. Baisi yao bali kweturuse. Ulwa kwa fyati yalu bene, bamupera kwa chikimini na bume. Pantakula baisi yao inoista mausa mpanga katushile fyaba. Chamu tuwala isu wakati yako ya alubana. Aya pangalansi na bayupendi alubana. Ikishere no bapanga convention yapangire kule bantu bale obushikole tumotu na chama America tulenda tubana ground bayaba ichabalya balaba ichabali tola mu itaka kileya ne group yabo mubabende muntu masi tampoco somo mwabere sabinga muleo mukwa bonse ifya abantu bale complain ngo waikala pe ba mwamba fe kufa ku program yana kuma radio. Umuntu wonse is complaining about mouse sampa chavinga ona. Uludimi wali kuatamaka. Ififilelanda abantu hapa. Bamukonga bachilondora buno sana. Bonsala lelondora balondora. Bela munati. Baka munabena na bakota fyaba pita. Fikala ya kubana. Efi jaba kuma pepo ya kuchaichi. Bala kwe bachichi kolwe. Icharufienye. Balela becho balevyala baja. Pachita bitrace ye wafa n'okufa balaba mausamba balayikana pachipuna kwati ali amukulondole fyamani irafine fe Bible yala ndefi ali amukuchita fyabayivo kwati ninsoka tukoite mu PF na tukwata mwansoka ishingi sana ula ninsoka ikulu batumine ila ninsoka ikulu muntu wotu unono lero efo ba PF kuikatana ukuchita echintu natukwata bamakebizulu abe mnefe tondolo izeloya umwaiti wakwata kwa mano pa muntu umukuru umwaiti ala kontrole fintu bamundu bile nabo bale bombe fya mano takuli fya ko batika ngesi mwa bakonka fya mambo kwa kafito no samba ba charity pili fishi wenga mwana mwa charity pili ni ndesi chipi yabu che yabako itepulizi not ya kuya kumolo tabakwata po ino mukulungana mayo na nkoko chifukatira bana teti ndetira fya bachati ndei bado kumba tubala kachituli kulya tonso twalubana nacho shenu mausi samba bushali fya buinola ngushali abantu bamwe bale bachekinga mwandi nukula twala chiyo cha family cha takwa bapati ya family tira leta ma programs uswa kuba cha family basa tabale tere pati kuli forunse twala mkubike mpya mwe dramu baka ngonga waposa mwalo ndo na tuchite donate ule unga some create confusion instead ya kale fena ngwa kuli cash for social cash transfer lembe shefe na ba charity kalembe sena ma social cash transfer baise obalisha imwe bakulu prefo kubomba kono umunono kweta mano yofule tontonka nyefya mano amona tichalo chapela pelekeni kolongani kabana imwe bakulu ba social cash transfer imwe mutu shope imwe tefi wechifuile okuva muzambia tefi mwambata pane chonga tora pochaitika muzambia mwefe confusion shekaeka confusion okutambira mu ruling kuli confusion mwaisako opposition babakiteefu bakireesa alapangenshira apashaba
Thank you, Maya.
n'abantu bakuganga bakolokere mu nsomu efunaleesa alapangenshira bakatane.
Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Yes, Mwamba Mbuya Mlishani.
Oh, JJ Banda, our independent MP for Petauke. My dear brother, please make your contribution.
Yes, Mwamba. Here, for me, I can say, let's not start even calling each other names here. Even Mao Sampa, let's not call him names. Even what, it's only that us, the leaders, we don't want to accept what is happening. And what ECL was doing, the problem is that we want to argue what ECL left and laid down. ECL told all of us, and I'm sure, Mwamba, you follow me, I follow you. I've been saying this, Mbuya, to say, PF, right now, it's in the hands of Varwani. That's why ECL came up with an alliance, and they said that I'll have plan B. And we told you, I've been preaching this to say, let's leave PF with lawyers, so that the lawyers, they should be just fighting in court. When they remove judgment in their favor on what, we just challenge it, we leave it in court, so that we can concentrate working. But right now, you're busy fighting, they're keeping you busy fighting for this one today does this one does this, then your friends are putting candidates on the ground. They're busy verifying. Remember, right now, you are supposed to be giving, right now, this program, you are supposed to be having this program to do check and balances. But I'm surprised why the devil has blinded all you leaders. Because, remember, you're very experienced. Right now, you know what is happening on the ground. You can't tell me to say there's no politician here. I don't want to call names. There's no politician here who doesn't know what is on the ground, what people want. Because even at the ward level right now, when you go even in the ward, they'll tell you to say, the councillor we want to put now, it's this one. In the district as a mayor, as a council chairperson, they'll tell you, it's this one. You can't start making a mayor right now. Time is not there. Next month, the campaigns are starting. So, I can tell you, Mbuya, to say, what we are doing in Tiuta, we are opposition. So let's stop this manyenga. Let's come down. Let's come together. Let's go to Copper Belt. Now look, in Copper Belt, I'll be always like call spade. Even in Parliament, I was calling spade. Mbuya, I'll tell you in Copper Belt, in Dora Central, the person whom they want, it's Emmanuel Mlenga. But right now, look the side where he is, and then the people, what the people want also, it's something else. Whereby him now, even if the other camp put another candidate, and then they put Emmanuel Mlenga will lose. The UPND will take it. Why? Because we are going to share the votes. Just like Chipata. By Emmanuel Mwamba, you remember Chipata, how we lost Chipata City, and how we lost Malambo. We lost Chipata because we had put the PF, we had adopted someone who was not on the ground. Then we left it, the one who was on the ground, she went independent. And then the PF candidate now with the PF votes, he got 12,000. The independent Rusi Grand Piri got 12,000. Zinda Basoko got 2,000, who was also PF. Donald Tembo, who was also PF, got 2,000. Altogether, it was 30,000. Then Bamtoro got 15,000. He carried the day. Surely, with all that experience, and then we can be wasting time right now, start discussing, no, this, even discussing PF, the matter is in court. But we know to say PF has got assets, and then those assets, and then we need that party. So the more we need that party and those assets, we said, let's leave the lawyers. They should be just following that matter in court to prevent PF to go to Chabinga. That's all. Let's start concentrating on the ground. Look, Malambo, the way we lost. Malambo, we lost because Makebi and the campaign manager for Makebi in 2016 stood as an independent Wamwale, Honorable Mwale. When Honorable Mwale, they shared Honorable Mwale and Makebi. As a result, PPS, Peter Pili, got the UP and they got that seat. So surely this is what we want again. We experience the same. And then you and me, Mwamba, we are busy. You and me, Mwamba, we are the ones who are supposed even to give each other tax to say, let's bring all of them. You are with Makebi. And let's not beat about the bush to say, no. You are just with the party. You have been with Makebi. Me, I've been with Munduride. You and me were even supposed to be calling each other and say, my friend, have you talked to Makebi? Oh, have you talked to Munduvire for them to come together? Oh, we ask another one if he's got with another candidate with Warubinda. Oh, you, have you talked to Warubinda? Have you talked to Mao Sampa? Even the same Mao Sampa, we need him. Let's not call him name. Yes, ni mfana Mao Sampa ni mbuya wanga, tima chitatani, ama ganzako mga ni mfana pamoja, but he needs to be controlled. You know, vantu vajauti vakuti vamatenga vamamwamo maybe kuti akambemushwa chamo glasi ya manzi. So amafunga kumkontrola first wamuza ikapansi apa glasi ya manzi osamwa manzi apa TFS kambisani. That's how we are supposed to take Mao Sampa. Mao Sampa ni muntu watu. So let's not call him names even here Mwamba. Anyone who is going to call Mao Sampa, tell him or her to say, wait, we will resolve this. You know, Mao has been like that. Even in 2016, you saw. He campaigned with Hichilema, but just from there, he came again, he apologized, we accepted him. How many times was Mao's welcomed to our side? So many times. So sometimes, even Pamunzi Bamwamba, Munzuli wonse, imangana na bisiru, mfumu ili yonse machita accept Pamunzi, because ngati uzapisha chisiru, uzapisha na waja wa bruru wa chisiru. So for you to keep ngati chisiru mubanja mwa wali 100, for you to keep that family of 100 people in your village, you're supposed to accept that.
You're JJ.
Yes, you're supposed to accept that because uzaluza one very 100 once.
No, my dear brother, you and I have an assignment to unite our colleagues. For me, my quest has always to unite not one set of opposition or the opposition. You saw in my remarks, I said it's not too late. Even if all of them file on Wednesday. Even if they file on Wednesday, I was saying, I hope that they can collapse their interest and give us one candidate on nomination day on 18th April. You and I, let us work at building all of them, but you know the difficulties that is there, but let's continue to be tireless in attempting to bring them together.
Okay, now I'm asking one question. I'm just asking one favor from you.
Yes, my brother.
Can you delete that agreement, whatever, whether it's a true or it's a propaganda or it's something, you delete it?
I have not published it. It's not on my page. I have not talked about it. I have not talked.
It's there.
Oh, okay. I don't use that page. It's run by one of the guys that run my newspaper. I'll check. But if you have seen,
yes,
even
so
on this program,
to delete it,
yeah,
I want you
even
and
on this program, just listen, just listen, my brother. It's not that I didn't see it. Even on this program, you are the first one who's raising it. There are things, that just like one caller said, Honorable Mumipiri is with all of us, she's PF, but they didn't like the remarks that she made on Prime TV. Even Mao Sampa complained. Yes, all of us, even in this fight, there's some things we can do and that we can't do. I have not published that agreement on any of my pages, and not that I didn't see it. Even here, I've been sitting here for almost 3 hours. I've not raised that matter, but I've taken note.
Yes, so now, Emmanuel, but me, I'm asking you now this. You and me, let's bring everyone, including Maos. Let's reach out. Maos is our brother. Is our brother. Let's not deny. Look, the chaos, what is happening in Mazabuka. Surely, you are a politician and you are a social media guru, a very senior person in the social media space. Because you know to say, my UPND related confusion, to love both what is happening in Mazabuka. There is chaos in UPND. In UPND, they are fighting like in Iraqi. Right now, we can say the confusion in UPND is just like in Iraqi. Check even wakazi kuvura mi mambo enda na mavere gaeka manje ni chipani chetane munga kambe ati ni chipani Japani got UPND, but now to distract people to see what is happening in Mazabuka, they are bringing you this now news so that you can't talk about what is happening in Mazabuka.
No, again, let me clarify. In my other role as chairperson for information, I've had so much pressure for our members, number one, and also for the country to understand the action we took to appeal and also to respond to Mao Sampa's press conference. I think that was also very important. But the issues if it may satisfy you, in fact, some of the senior leaders in UPND are coming on this forum, maybe tomorrow, and they'll tell you what has happened. Today, I thought we could discuss this. But I take your advice, my brother, that let's continue the work using our various influences to unite the opposition. I've been speaking to Mao Sampa, including up to yesterday. But when certain things happen, like what has happened today, we need to protect the party. And sometimes we need to do what we are doing for the sake of the nation and for the sake of the country.
Look, to protect the party, but assembly that quietly. Look, UPND. Change kazizi funza teka. Mata ya PF ya taking so many years. Yaona uyulongwe. Lero wapeleka judgment. Machita throw out. How many weeks? Within the days, webe wakiwa ruling out, mata ita. You have seen, there's that document, I'm sure, I said breaking news. There's that document, after an appeal. That Patrick Longwe. You see, all that we should be telling the people to say, have you seen the way the UPND are? They are failing to rule on
we are discussing that matter, JJ, not to preempt us. We are discussing that matter tomorrow. I've put out an invitation to both Charles Longwe and the president, Patrick Tembo Banda. They've accepted. Today they were busy with whatever was happening. But don't worry, it's coming. What's happening in Mazabuka, what's happening in Lusaka, the violence that occurred in Sesheke over the weekend, we are following up. And we'll have, I think, a dedicated program tomorrow. It's not that we have relegated
in Rwapura, by Emmanuel Mwamba. In Rwapura right now, there's chaos. There's chaos under UPND. Mwense council chairperson.
Yes.
Mwense council chairperson.
Deputy National Youth Chairperson, yes.
Yes, I'm blocking a good touch the file in. There's chaos there. Go in Eastern Province, there's chaos. Johadi Wamukanira, because Johadi Lazima to say, as a supporter, convention here, and that Johadi was a supporter, Garingombo as a winner. One block a concept. Living Goma is in Eastern Province. Eastern Province, we live a structure to maintain. Once a bill 7, Vajavana and Davaja. Vankara shocked. When the was that was like a structure, when I came. Because of the open Garingombo Kumazapuka, a winner. I'm a winner. Once about in the HM of Arusa Kumazapu. You can imagine. But Garingombo, a winner. Even the news and it goes around to say, Waona, Kama is a bitch.
Milo, Uncle JJ, I'm calling you tomorrow. We might have the first 1 hour. We might have Charles Longwe and Patrick Banda to tell us on their side of the story, and we'll open the phone lines and you can participate.
So, UPND akayasira chakukhayinga. That's why my president wao walisi wabaona bali church bakambapo so kambapo benerongo bose basendera swanga bakwire benerongo because bati keeping my secret long. If you remember, those are not to say I'm a special force. It's a special force because as you are whenever my votes, that's why swanga mukwire long way. So all those things are the ones we're supposed to be talking. Now, let's not talk about us, man, and that is how to make it. Because this is the Tamzao on our UPND. Mapichi mwa uswapi kamba mbachika kumazabuka, uisteni, uwapula, usesheke kalomyo kangombe kabawina, president watuma bandu, umbo menya baja, ndiye nkaniza netifuko kamba. Tari mozo ya lomyo na gari ngombe wa once. And the southern province, Monse ma district whenever we na malomyo kangombe na gari ngombe. Bae church baruza. Iongani ndia ni mfungo kamba bamwamba.
It's coming tomorrow, my brother.
Which means in India Zangara president. President conference. You see?
Thank you very much, my brother. We have tomorrow. I will invite you, and I hope that the two leaders I've invited will be on our program tomorrow, and you are invited. And congratulations for the work you are doing, my brother, on your page. We all have this duty to rescue our country and continue to do what you are doing. I'm very grateful for you. Let me just take the last few callers, and JJ, tomorrow I'll call you.
No, thank you so much. But today, you talk to your person, Makebi. I also talk to my person, my President Munduvili, and you talk to your person, my President Vanoko. Nine and Kamena, President Vanga. General meeting. Visile vitimuving.
Me, I talk to all of them. I talk to Fred Membe, Hari Kalava, KBF. I want all of them.
Yes.
I am not particular. All of them. That's what our people of Zambia are looking for.
Me, I'm talking about Makebi. These others have already reached out. Because look in Chirawamwe, Musukwa Bamufuna. But right now, Mambanga Beze Manja, yes, Musukwa Manja, Kakontrol Kuta, Akastetani, Imama Mamba Bamufuna. Piri Stamba Bamufuna Mukawe Muda, Njanza Wina Muda's MP. But Manja Soakoenda is divided. You see?
Thank you, my brother. Thank you very much. I'll call you after the program. That's my brother JJ Banda, hello caller, please tell us your name. I'm taking the last few calls. Hello caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is
Yes, I can hear you. The caller, Mr. Hendricks Mutale, hold on, I've got another caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
This is Brian Matambo. I'm calling you from Lusaka.
Yes, my dear brother. Make your contributions.
Yes. I'll start on a lighter note. I think the Honorable J.J. Banda said that we shouldn't call Mao Sampa names. But then he went ahead and referred to Mao as Siru. Now, I don't know. I'm not from Eastern Province. Maybe Siru means a rich man. Anyway. You see, my comment is really about what's happening in the PF. I really believe that rebranding that we failed to do in 2021, it is happening naturally right now. It's happening naturally right now. I feel like there's a renewal that is coming to Zambia, and it has started right in the patriotic front. You know, you can see certain people, if you look back, I think the wider, citizenry in this country will agree with me when I say there are certain faces. When they see certain faces from the PF, they are able to say, no, we don't want those people back. And you can see the way naturally some of these people are just making these decisions just to remove themselves from the winning team. It's happening so naturally. So it's very interesting. I really want to affirm, several people have said some really wonderful things, and I want to add and say that I think there's a grace that you can see on Honorable Council Makembi Zulu, the president of the PF Pamosi Alliance. We are seeing a situation where literally God is raising a leader right in front of our eyes, and I think this is going to be the day, Ambassador, when we will sit down and remember and say it felt like we were under stress, but God was actually doing some work. So I think this is not a day that we can really just write off as a bad day, but I think it's a day of small beginnings. We are seeing people come out, that presser that we saw today where Honorable Mao Sampa made certain appointments that he was actually to work with and things like that. And we know the history about Charity with the leaked audios with Chavinga and so on and so forth. And then Modolo finds himself doing and then, SG Nakashinda is removed. And I think what is now clear is that all those changes that Mao Sampa was making really have to do with his own central committee, the one he formed in 2023. That's the central committee that he was making adjustments to. So those people that we were watching is picking, is removing, and so on and so forth, and is added, it is from that central committee. So when he said that he has dissolved the central committee, he was referring to the central committee from 2023. It has nothing to do, because in the PF that was led by Honorable Given Lubinda, he was Deputy Secretary General for Politics. He has no powers to dissolve that central committee where he was Deputy Secretary General in charge of politics. He has no power. The one's power is the one from 2023. That's it. I think they should be well informed, those who were in that central committee. The Nahazeo and others, they should consider themselves dissolved because that's what it did. But the rest of you, Ambassador, who are in this central committee, we support you. We are behind you. If you need us to do anything, give us a call and we will do whatever is required to build the PF Pamosi Alliance. And I think we are in a day that we will remember one day and say, okay, God works in mysterious ways. And we are seeing it happen. Even just the way this day flowed, where in the morning we had there was an appeal on that issue, and then there was a press conference, then there was a leak of a document. When you look back, you're like, to be honest, people might be so upset about what's happening. But no. If you just really pay attention, God is at work. And if you just analyze situations, this is not bad for us. God is clearing the way for Honorable Makembi Zulu. And by the time we realize it, we will see that God really, really is serious about bringing change to this country. Those are just the thoughts that I wanted to add.
Thank you very much. I think you bring a very powerful point that he had no powers to dissolve that central committee because he was Deputy Secretary General there. He had no such powers. Arokola, tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good evening, Your Excellency.
Good evening.
My name is Hendrix Mutale, calling from Lusaka.
Hendrix Mutale, make your contributions.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Kwena, Your Excellency, ichivemba chitiro kutira 22 emwenso. Kabiri munumu tausalanda. Kabiri muchinshi wanseva mimina pamo. Ichiwe chivemba na bomfa, Your Excellency, na bomfesha kuntungurushesu. Our opposition political leaders. When Tungurushes, please, I'm appealing to you, please. Let's unite. The unity of purpose. Let's unite. Bama Kebizuru, Bablani Munduvire, Bakebifu, Barikaraba, Basabo, Bones, all our leaders. Please, let's unite. Your Excellency, icharo chesu cha Zambia nachifika hapa. Ero ntungurushe chesu sometimes barengira kuna makomboni bamunitya abantu balechula. You know, when you want to be a president, it's a team. Okay, but president pamurupala baba fene bali representative but imwe bonse mwe ntungurushi nga mwaisa pamo ni mwe mkaratungurule chalo imwe mkaratungurule chalo. So please our leaders, please tikwata karakase official saka kwa but no the president na nguchibeshani apechiri ponomba kupoko buntungwa uwa namba tubuntungwa turerera. Your Excellency, fin tunafipena abantu ma businesses yaliwa. Abantu walikwete opu. You know, UPND was given a very good mandate. Kwa to few pali 17 kwacha. At least wawosha kufina pali 15 kwacha. And this has lamentably failed. Bali fidiliwa for Your Excellency. So tulero mba kuntungurushi once kwa please ikataneni apoka ba nomination please change kwate fyo muntu filmo bote kwate fyo muntu mu bachimba kambwiri baji bonze mwantungurushi iseni pamono kulira bena Zambia so that muntu fyo muri buchushimkwai. Awe na total excellence.
Thank you, Mr. Mutale. Very wise words from Mr. Mutale. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello, Amanda. Hello?
Yes, my dear sister.
Hello, Mr. Ambassador. Yes, it's me, Nameless. Yeah.
Nameless, make your contribution.
I could hear, yes, because I could hear someone talking. Okay. All right. Ambassador, first thing first, I would like to thank you for the courage you have carried out to this day. Yeah. Because if it hadn't been for you, most of us would have remained in darkness. Yeah. You know, keep on with the same spirit, Amanda.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you very much.
Yeah, just keep on with the same spirit. I know you are very tired. You are exhausted, and we could see that. Yeah, we feel it. Yeah, we feel it for you. Coming back to the situation, Mr. Ambassador, yeah, this outcome is so heartbreaking. You know, as a concerned citizen, I do express my disappointment on an ongoing matter at a very delicate time. It should not have happened. You know, I just can't imagine leaders who are supposed to safeguard us, are the ones turning their backs to the 20 million Zambians. Where are we going as a nation? Where do you put a vulnerable person? You know, this is a serious matter. I can see, Mr. Ambassador, a huge storm is coming towards us to crush us. Yeah. Let me speak a little bit in Bemba. Ambassador, since we have already appointed the president of the so-called PF, even though they keep on saying that it was actually, taken upon, with no name, but still you insist it's PF, and we know that it's PF. Yeah, we just have to, support, the president. Yeah, all the people who are in support, they should just come together. Mukambukula supporter, pa president, no kubabutera, tukwate ntungulushi. But now, me kumakoti, tapagifile chitika. And I'm very disappointed nava Sampa. I'm so disappointed. Chiremba chadilanda tu wapale matalika. And I'm also disappointed to hear from I've just forgotten his name.
Over JJ Banda, Emmanuel JJ Banda, former Petauke Independent MP.
I've forgotten his name, so it just slipped off my tongue.
Emmanuel JJ Banda.
That bringing around is our brother. No. You know, a good brother, does not take any wrong way, does not go astray. A good brother should bring everybody together, not to disappoint the others. It can't be. He is not a good brother. Nabantu tasana disappoint. Finchi bafwaya. Ukulachusha vena Zambia. Bafile bachita niu. Nokulanda disori kuvena Zambia. Twachula sana. Twachula sana.
Thank you, Mayo. Thank you very much, Mayo. I've got 2 callers waiting. Let me pick this one first. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Mkwai Murishani.
Bamwambana chirapo first nga firafini njamba na matotero muri mu murebo na muna abantu abengi balerero atabike polishi pari program osuma.
Mkwai nishiro kukomboka amafoni yonse achiri yalerila.
Bamwamba ndefu aturuchiteko ekintu kimu plakatiko. Twariranda sana. Pakupari unity, batatu munapona abantu abali willing nokuchita unite. You find bajeje barera na sentu chita unite. Nasanga mamakempi bari na sentu chite unite bamundubire imo bamwambana mubere mubari pa platform apo but unity taire mureka unity turera ndale pakano kwati na kari munifira tuchinja ifya kufuala unity ile turera ndapadi unity let it be substantial fire mureka no kumureka tusere roba makempi bamundubire bachi bapamo rero bamwamba bachira bachikwata fe programu umufye ure chita promote aba bantu bamwambana chinimbora sana ifire chitika sana chino shiku aba nesuba UPND ufuba rechitapa na abafirwa oro barelwa oro iyo balelwa if we are just busy talking about our issues every day mamura and we are distracting ourselves from talking about issues are UPND na munefika chitika lelo ila matter is a very big and sensitive matter incredible to say court ifreashita iye matter with full of attention because that matter and content muri matter ya UPND it is a very very strong case ya kubati somebody court to are interested no kuchanalyze the matter no because not to saying that if we are busy arguing this side then they are throwing out case like in such a way mamura. We should stop talking about Omakebi, Bamunduri, and other things. Let's talk about Nomabayupi and of Wasili Rovo Chitirabantu. Every touring Rokuchitapa. Bamwamba, Abantu, Abaleranda, that wherever some good take a Chichino Chalo, at Ye, never into Kiratino, Jezabel, 13 United Navaria. Bamwamba is the 10 unit to for a Pakamaza Balera and the Yamashiwi. Bamwamba, Umuntro, Kutukana. Ngorefo, a unit to Kutuasawa, Wira, Ikara, Famona, Bena, Bantua Kutukiri. Therefore, mipeleko imo example mkupuirikisha bamwamba twadire kumayembe na bafredi membe ifo fo PF twadire kumayembe kuba election na bafredi membe bali sarandira mashimu ya mwa akankala sana bashirera ndati kwali umushumu abantu bali pusene batinkala mwali ishirati ayibapwa abantu bali mine pamo bala bakwa ma problems yabo balusha bayipaye yenkalamo Oromba bagwera basawishikana ikirefu eka first kwisa pamutuipa yinkaramu irona shati yo pantu ule bali ntukene au mausampana chitechi yo shanifi tule ntuime pano no musumbu tule atuipa yinkaramu ba UPND na bafiro kuteke cyalo kutimwa papano mu bantu no fubare teke cyalo ofu bare bombe nchitwe mise kwishira ikara 3 weeks isha PP isha buro kushita monitor isha akwa bara ma engineers background umusebo murepanga ndora mufurira road 3 months umusebo na wamba potholes umusebo tabara isura no kuisura umusebo ndola lusaka road tamwava lebai apa kwimina traki itaira ngari apancha bamwambe bantu tungereka shati bambe kula teke cyaro aba fiyo utakuwa aba muno mundoro guturera ndamuturera ndiriyashi katuishi kuma lusaka kwa abantu bari umfwa fiyo naba kwata abantu ma filling station but bane filo kushitisha bamwamba abantu sha kwa bati twameno kuraranda pali ba mausa mpana bana tafiko tenchito tureranda pali ba UPN abara iro abantu 50 kwa chobunga.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you for the advice. Thank you very much. We've got another caller. Caller, you were waiting for some time. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
My name is Robam. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I do apologize. I normally do call towards the end because the program, you keep on learning.
Yes, Robam.
So I think Bamwamba, today for me, I think it's a great day for people like you, you know. And I think what has actually happened here is God has actually shown the Zambian the type of leader we're going to have in Makebi. Because what has actually happened today after that memorandum of understanding was went public and stuff, it showed us that we have a leader that will put our country first. You know, and that's what it showed. Because if at all Makebi was so desperate, and I say so desperate, that he didn't care about anything, but he just wanted to be president, would have just said, yeah, subside the boy. But what is actually shown there is that he's a patriot and he's ready to put the country first. And Bamwamba, I tried today to look around and see if there's ever been any worse memorandum of understanding politically. My God, that was the worst I've ever seen. Because that was what we call the president is in the office, but he's not in power. You know, where you have a president, he's in office, but he's not in power. They wanted to withhold all the power. And the Zambians today, it's a lesson now. God has shown clear to see who is with you. Because that memorandum of understanding, Bamwamba, you know, from we want you to commit to build schools, to build hospitals within 3 years and stuff. There was nothing for the country. It was and it actually a cartel. People trying to positions, you know, and the people are suffering.
Yeah.
People are suffering in our country, and people are actually planning to give themselves jobs. Elections. But that, for me, when I saw that, it was scary. I was thinking like, oh my God. And then I've been convinced about Makebi for a very long time. But I understand now. And even when he was announcing his MCC there, I understand why some of these people that are behind him, they were saying, no, he has to confirm the position. He has to confirm the position. Because they knew the backlash. And what they are trying to do now is to try to see how the Zambians will react. Oh my God, they are traitors. I have never seen, and every Zambian need to know, that memorandum of understanding, look, Maos did not do that on his own. The cartel that is behind that, they don't care about Zambia. It was very strategic, and you need to look at the certain positions that we're fighting for. It was like trying to divide the government, where Makebi has his own, this side, and we have our own, this side. And the question you need to ask Mao Sampa, where were the Zambians in this memorandum of understanding? Because we didn't see anything. He didn't champion for any critical infrastructure for the Zambians. It was about him. Vice presidents, Minister of Finance, Defense, and stuff. Oh my God. I have seen spoiled kids, but I've never seen spoiled people. And I, for one, I have never said anything negative about Mao Sampa in public. But oh my God, when I saw that, and all my respect, I was thinking, does this guy think he owns this country? Because Zambia has over 20 million people. And for you to have the audacity to actually be dividing the country and trying to own it like it's your Kwachalo Chove. And I remember, you know, this is what Marufia Banda was around. You just say, because we need to be serious, guys. This country is not for Mao Sampa. This country is not for Makebi. This country is not for you, Bamwamba, alone. This country is for Zambians. Whenever you sign memorandum of understanding, it has to be the Zambian people first. You don't do what they've done. And shame on them. Wherever they are, if they are listening, I hope God deals with you. Because that's not how you treat your citizens. I can go on, Mambamba, but I'll leave it here. And thank you, Makebi Zulu, for standing for the Zambian people. Because that was unacceptable. And even if you had to do a counter offer, where do you even start? Because everything in there, it's wrong. You know, so look, all the Zambians now, they know. And you know what, Mamamba, here, there's a relation here when you look at this thing, how Makebi has handled the ECL issue, where he has been under a lot of pressure as a spokesperson and the family, and they have not budged. They've stayed on their principle and their loyalty, and they're trying to honor what ECL wanted. And it's exactly what has happened here. He's put the Zambians first. That's where his loyalty is. So, you know, when we tell people that we want a loyal leader, I don't think this will be beaten. And if all the international organizations or countries are watching, they know that next time they come to try to make a deal with Zambia, with Makebi Zulu as president, they know that Makebi will always put the Zambians first. In Jesus' name, Amwamba, I stop here. Amen. And let's pray for Makebi. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rob. I'm from Manchester. God bless you. Thank you. Hello, caller. Please, sorry you've been waiting for some time. Make your contribution. Endita Yama, make your contribution.
Chakubalira bonito pamuli mumbebumba kabiri ndeumfwa ubulanda kusanga okwebati amalida especially abali ku opposition tabali mfwiro olusemo mwebabo kupyalo byakunze ukubutuka amafya ya muno kwambira imwe bene bamwamba ba jeje abena tayari nabambi nabakakwa mu kifungo nombe kyakumpa kusha kwebati natukwata abakalamba pali bachimba kambwiri ba given nubinda intunguru shesha ali MPF shiri ushe kwena aba bantu aba nangu kuti twaranda tinangu kuitemo kwashani kuti vafiru vafe kuikara pamo vaitomo achaMakebi Zulu nokumwe vachisati kutungirire ukapite iwe fileka kwe vati muntu alikatishini kwemwe mdini kuisa ngaisa mupa doti flanti nangu wanyu inshaba ni memba wenu nomba pande mona kofe kwati aba bantu tabati temo ero tabasaka mana icharo chesu cha Zambia kuli ifufu ebalechura kairi vena bali pamulu vale mwama waini n'abakwatenda lamalero tabalesaka mana kuli uli omuntu uli panshi ule echulo kwe bati tuwombere pamunangu batungire efe mwache udawine Makebi Zulu ngapita nabo bene kuti baba bwino lero tabale ekimone ekyo ukwisasa kuli bamaosamba iyi gemu iyi gale batampa apafya isafe pabweru kulango kwe bati bamaosamba n'abachabinga tonse tubatumingalato tuntubaleya mu makoti tubatumingalato baletea babombana ba UPND nomba vyaisa pawero vyarango kwebati vamausampa efyo vava valeterera muva ICL mpaka vafwira pakuchita faiti iine PF lero vaifisha mpaka kulasti kwebati vaona ula PF lero echo verala vava mumausampa background tapa vanangu fimofintu vava ifo pali inoishita nangu vachiteshani twalana Makebi ero nga fyashupa sana ifo ninga vakosesha va Makebi vanavonsa vagiveni vachimba kambwiri vamausampa kuti vavareka vaombera pamona munduvire nangula naalikalava so that vadana vena vashala negrupu lyavo filafini lero ndinga vale mufo vagiven muvi ndefo ningachita appeal kuli vena kuti vaita Makebi ero chali mpapuisheni after convention avavonsa maleaders ava tavachitire congratulate mausampa kwevati wawina mwache ifinefive vaikalazi it's like kwali vasimwefe vakwata mmitima shavo nomba valelavo kwevati echi ngakonkanya pofyo kuteka jonse vilafintu vakwete akesa aikata kwakambukula vakanda one by one mwe kwatoluse mwe maleaders nga mulengu foko vachimba kambwiri vagiven luvinda kwatenuluse kuva nenu avali muchifungo avalinga vachitotera kwatenuluse kuli va Emmanuel Mwamba avali echula lyonse valelanda kulanda kwevati vakwere muchalo chesu chino muneneso vavutuka mwe vantu vakwalesa ushemu avashana nene mwana omunono ndetontonganya kwefya mano ngana ali newo given luvinda ngana aitire Makebi naitana plani munduvire vaicheisenyapa lekeni mitungirire tufunyepo echichirwani chintu tukwete nomba valifeni vakaitemo just because vena navakwatendalama tavaisaka mana pa vantu vali ava panshi wevalinga ifo kwevali echuro kwevati vaturuwireko efo valefu amaposition vavengani mapresident vo vantu vakwalesa kucho chavo nikwiseko tuleya so fyonse findemieva katakwave kuikatana echi akapita andinachiwamo kwevati akesa mukulakanda movene mwevali pamuru so echi ngole mufwa ukatambe okukanda vavene amaleaders avali pamuru ava vavene avena kambwiri avena given luvinda kaita valefo kwevati vamifunyepo evakuisalolekeshapo sana vavene ava Makebi kosa muntu wandi ngafyashupa ikatana na wire ngata shupa ikatanana na ali karaba tukapita tukampera support abenkonkotera baba shefo kwe bati bakupere support bareke bashare opini abena kamwiri na abena even nubina abena mausam nayo mausam patwakupera PF kayena ene kofini natotera wamwa.
Thank you very much. I hope that I can be allowed to close the program because all of you want to participate. I know this is an emotive program. But bon kuchungola mabwela futi like isentwisa le program number.
No ba mwamba. No she. Because amali ashimutuleta ba mwamba to wali mtapu ataki. Wali shiwejo deno vine de.
Emkwai.
Twali myeberero mwale tuleta ba opinion ko. Abe ngibale ya mwana ya ma opinion ko mwale tuleta kwa tiabushi. But palasti wali sasa ngokuba jamaa opinion ko mwale tuleta ya chinga. Now, in confusion here, we started that whether the point of Magano will go to the Nina and J. Banda, you Papa, Equal, one did a former candidate, one some of my meaning, once the 8. Vital, when about Japa is this and our given movie. I mean, more later. You know, we don't realize that the Pokemon, but given movie, the one because much one of what you buy in Paris. Balako to the Lima, they are flying. How the other never Java should have focused on which station, which station. Even our given Lumba, she did a fight. No better branch than our minute, but the position here, acting president, could you put PF, I would even don't say, the match station. Even to a Fimona, your confusion in case. Again, I will have Panga Pamos. One of the Panga Pamos, Wagan of Congo to Wambo, Tarixana, Venamon, and don't. Again, Wapanga Pamos, the same people buying again. Here the Puma election. Did ever again by Panga Kusoma Panga Ponene? That's why they confusion. For let's not go back. Avavidi. Pavidi. That's what we shall my election. Avavidi. What we shall my election. This that you want to get away from you in my election. Why is that okay? For good by Avadan. What take a challenge as a Musuma. Not to believe Mukaitemo because it's very Mukaitemo. Could have moved by the one. Sending that white Pamwamba. Muna njeje banda chisala na njeje banda pali alando kweba jo mutupa patrenge vyo mbojeshe takwaba kanyere kurukungu kutunjo mwana ile bazonzenga twakulala ndapali mausamba na mailo twalanda pali mausamba na mailo twalanda pali mausamba ala panga kwa tika bila twa kompeshe balela that bali chala mwana kwa tibali au twakula pepa tupepe mausamba chila bushiku ivyo byagana wewe na Zambia na kuchilisha ile ule yuko pano ndi Nadi ba structure. E timbo fish wo muntu yoro e mai wa trokero. Mai wa la chef. Nde mo ba na structure. Ma structure to wako selo ku yasunga. One wa mai ko chiruselo ba chile mu ipate from 2001. Ba mini no ku anda tafile lani. Kwa ile umina msonda mpaka ta campaign anga pale ale ukwa. Kuya ku kozo shuku mu na campaign apita ba member of parliament. Tafari mu nyai rufiani shakuga. 2006 twalire. 2009-11 twalete tanama wiso no yine blanki wala twalete jana mama na so twaita sanga kwa kwa kuteka ida twaita itabakusha kwa konga waziba etika kwa lungu umutima wabo usoma to abakonga no twalete tana mwanzo tulemo ile watu walirukia ba etika lungu tulelira tatulaisha noko aba defi areke mumochali agenya abantu babo bene batuletera ma problem tulelanda pesi mofi Kristo kulala njapali kofi ne ba mausamba twalanda yo ba given rubinda twalanda yo ba nani ba mwamba walibo mbenti so enough is enough. Let me just speak for in the space is space again not to mule na twaiba mundubile kalo magembi zuru ikalo ndachakutira byacu tigero file ebe tukonge abo tubashe bashale ama nani ama project ama nani ama asset ya shala PF twalikuwa tani mundolemo twakule chikulwa nejo tineta kumusaka ikivimita tukishi insta ya yanga ba unity bashira ama project yangu ndo ba mu bashira ama project yangu taya onaika ushena nomba bali karana hivi leo tuchete kile ndio bantu kwa watu maase tatule saka mana maase icho tule saka bana myeo ya bena Zambia ukusaka mana yoba mwamba etimule landi lokutali isetimule landi la mwechiro chalo cha Zambia je jale landi lokutali isejale landi la mwechiro chalo cha Zambia na babye mu baje abena munyazuro lo bafumile tatuishi wewe bale ikala aba nenzo abena kirango bali maseo za nomba tatoishi wewe bale ikala kabula ndio kurufiengo ebe motule sasa positive amwe watio kanyere kutunjo mwana tato mtunje pauza mbele tatu akamkonge labda ndio mukere bega ine tia ile pavesi nenini namasilagi jeje kuimine eri achitwachira tunisha nyama konyero kualika tana mausamba ndekwa mulu unobye munobele abale kwaya mubi nimuntu bila na magembi zulu chapwa ebe namasilagi ya PF therefore that choko makati kwale eko tuleya leo lekwe bajide.
Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Yeah, just a minute. You are not on speaker. Just a minute. I can see Queen Pumi is back. Just hold on. She's back. But the phone was on silence.
Hello, Ambassador.
Yes, Queen Pumi, I can see you are back. Make your contribution.
Yeah, quick one. So, and I just want to tell Avena Zambia, it's not Mushiba. Always, when something big is going on, there is a distraction. So, apart from nimpoke rakari mbusha, chikuri mayhem kuma kingdom yaboko, ama intra-party elections yatiwale chitakuma 2 a.m. So, abantu barerwa. So, navena ababeni abantu ababa holy camp, they have problems because navena namakwata another president, the temple camp, and then there's the HH camp. So, if you need to bachelor by previous call, okay, but let's just focus on Makebi Zulu and doing what we have to do to get ready to present him as our candidate. I'm sure the PF leadership will work that out. But if we want to, we must have any distraction because could you muriro bareranda kudiana chikaba bare kwata my election kuma 2 a.m. abantu barerwa.
Thank you. We have that topic tomorrow, Mama. Even you on your program, let's discuss the UPND. Let's show the videos. That's our topic tomorrow.
Excellent.
Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello, I'm Anonymous. Good evening.
Anonymous, make your contributions.
Yes, I just want to talk about the amounts. You know, maybe just politicians, I don't understand them. You know, it's very easy for one to finish their political career. He's a man that can't even stand in material anymore. Yeah, so Bamwamba, political career, Bamwamba Mbeveko, Tualingana, finish political career.
Thank you, Maya.
Finish, job finish.
Thank you. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
This is Mbao Sylvester. I'm calling you from Eastern Province, Petauke.
My dear brother, make your contribution.
Vamwamba besu ifinga mrefu konka wino PF kale yapwa tapali PF PF mwine muli nomba wa Makebi Zulu atinoneo president PF mwine Bama Osamba. So enough an ingamieva. If offer to FIA, no opposition here Araba United. Got already win, more position. The only part which looks organized up, I know I'm about to figure up. The CF, why won't say my join a few my support Harikaraba? So that to poke over Tungwa, Akachi. Eh? Abakasha 1 month before nominations. Then Apakulia Maria Knowledge, no Society VC, no Makebi Zulu Inshi, no Shani. Kabian if you could see from support the CF to Poco Ubuntu, Alantu, Sava to Kavese, to any fire on some Mise. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Nalishwa program yo mpeme na mwe wantu wakwalesa but let's discuss tomorrow. Let's look at the UPND conference. The UPND have a conference, pre-conference before they have National Management Committee and before they have national elections. Their primaries going on in provinces and districts. So let's collect the videos and we discuss it tomorrow. I'm closing the program. Landen icho mupamfi where we need to go.
Yes, Ambassador Mwamba, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Yes, I've listened to some of the guys who have called, but it's like so Mao Sampa is the president now or what? I'm just wondering.
Oh, okay.
And,
I'll summarize for you.
But you have most of the people who have called fanatics. You know, I don't know why they think Makepi Zulu can do anything. Makepi Zulu is a total failure.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll answer your question. There's another caller here waiting. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Emmanuel.
Good evening.
This is Dr. P calling you from Lusaka.
Yes, doctor.
Yes, Emmanuel. Thank you so much for the good work that you're doing and for your boldness.
Thank you.
Indeed, it takes current leadership to do what you're doing, and we really appreciate you. Emmanuel Mwamba, we are not shaken with what is happening. We know our Mouse and his team. We know whom they are working with. And at the moment, even at the grassroots level in Lusaka here, we are saying Makebi is a household name. And people should be rest assured that, Makebi Zulu will emerge president come August 13th. And our focus is to just wait on what strategy we are going to be signaled from the Makebi camp. And we are happy so far with what is happening, the mobilization that is going on around the country. And so we won't be distracted by these distractors. And indeed, we are looking forward to tomorrow's program, as we have mentioned. We have seen quite a number of videos and things that are happening. People are fighting each other. Indeed, we are geared to hear that program and to listen to the people that are inside this. But just to encourage the Zambians that let's just keep our focus on the goal. Makebi Zulu is our president, but of course, as everybody said, we need to work with Hari Karaba, we need to work with Mundubile, and others who are like-minded, so that at the end of the day, we can put everybody together.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel.
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name. You are my last caller finally. I need to go.
Platform ya police secretary wa PF but no kurando ko muleranyika ukwe wa PF yani PF ngayali pote twate na baba police secretary mulego mfyako na platform ngachali ni mwa kuna ngwata platform tumwa pere chitemwiko cha kwata ba PF tramiranga leadership to akwata kuba sitwa kwata ma leadership ya asuma sana umone ba police secretary ba PF ba police secretary ba Makebi Zulu umuonefu bachitefu bagomba bamwapa mulala bako n'okulaba bati mwe balesa mukulanda state mule biko kwikatana bamwamba baleta ko matwala pantanji bati mulebo omuntu mule kabiro omuntu kwe batafwe baro mupiane PF tetifwe bati na mwa CF walikuwa tenzambu na mwe bene twaliri ngoku mitungirira ngaba echebesu echi tubule ba member benu bonso kubaleta mu PF mufire mwabombo kulingana na ba CF bati nishina twikatana today pera ma respect kuma memberships not to kusonta ba members baba neno atiyo ababali kwaka inshuku ikatana takuli ba PF mwachumfana ba chisa kuba member bachiranga kwa ma structures yali ba intact ngabaranga tayari ba intact nishite kwa bati wale mipoka ba members ba MC ba CF nangunga mwaranda TPF yali kwa nishi ba mwara kwata ba member benjawe tamufire mwachitefu mukuru mwapera bena Zambia hope because PF structures anchor party ama structures yo mwinga bomfe basi kwa bati twafunya ko ubuteko buli kwa munya ama by elections kwata nangama put kwata ba Makebi Zulu bakwata yanga mura ndo kwa bati ama structures ya PF ebena Zambia so ba CF tulina imwe lero lekenyo ku kitati moralize ukurayiwa abantu musango mwakirangira mu bakikusa ken tuikoseleshera imwe muri important tochitimipose pansi yawe pf taya kwaro taya kafwepo nobu nobuteko bali kwengo bwanyu pf ireba pantanji yaratungirira yonse ama opposition party okwisafunyapo uyu muntu urefu okuiba democracy.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Dear viewers, I have to go. God bless you. We have another topic tomorrow. Let's discuss.